Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Westeros. You interrupted my voguing. We are coming at you live once again from the streets, the pavilion grounds, the Red Keep, the back alleys, the brothel houses, and the taverns of King's Landing, the capital of the Seven Kingdoms. We are here, as always, with a lovely and talented batch of players. So let's do our normal round of introductions real quick before we get caught up on the plot. Give me, who are you? Who's your character? What's your character up to? And who introduces themselves next? And we're going to go to Robert first because I don't think he's ever been first.
Oh, I've never. But now I'm going to freeze up due to nervousness.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Robert. I'm playing Lucaris, the oldest son and third oldest child overall of the clan. I am here to try not to pass out right away, as I've almost been beaten down by my former teacher and my apparently new rival.
Yes, Luke is looking pretty battered right now. We're going to play catch up in the melee momentarily, but he is at his very last health point and has no remaining means of damage mitigation. So the next time anybody hits him and gets through his armor at all, he is going to drop like a tavern wench's panties. So we're going to see how that goes for Luke here in the rest of the fight.
It usually goes well.
Luke, who's up next, though?
Let's stick with the boys. Let's go to Adam.
Hello, I'm Ash. I play Adam Nymerian, the youngest of the Nymerian siblings. And as Adam is not a fighter, he is instead chipping in from the sidelines while hoping that the massive bet he has put on his family plays out in his favor.
Yeah, so Adam has been helping out from the stands. He's been kind of bantering and chatting with an assortment of social oriented NPCs, and he's been able to give a bonus die to a teammate of his choosing by kind of beating in an opposed roll a nearby NPC out there in the stands. Now, some of those opposed rolls has been Adam arguing with the Princess Marcella or with Prince Joffrey, just because I had certain NPCs picked out for who they would be kind of representing in conversations. But Adam did also beat Peter Baelish, the Master of Coin, for instance, in an opposed persuasion roll. So Adam has been doing pretty good out there, but also he was trying to explain to a little girl why sometimes it's okay to stab a cop. So just a normal day. like you do. Who's up next, Ash?
Right, let's go with.
We won't let anyone else talk.
Am I just going to filibuster?
Yeah. The decision to pick the next player is a arduous one. I don't take lightly. And
let's go with Bela.
Alright, I'm Erica, and I'm playing Bela Nymerian. I am the second eldest child, twin to the eldest, as it happens, and I've been enjoying myself thoroughly in this big melee. Being the slightly more martial of the twins, I've been in command of our little unit as we've been fighting, and so I've been directing people a little bit, giving out a couple bonuses, and taking out a few of our opponents pretty well.
Yeah, Bela has made good use of both her tactics skill and Sunfire, the ancestral Valyrian steel weapon of the house. She's been very carefully not quite murdering anybody with it because it is just a tourney, and we're saying that most weapons are blunted or somehow wrapped or padded or whatever, but she's been getting some mileage out of that spear. So that leaves, last and not least, who we got?
Lady Rhaena Nymerian, played by me. I'm Flea. Rhaena is the heir to the house. She is the eldest twin, and you'll notice that I now have a pick. Bela is the dark twin. So in the images that you see cycling through here, Raina is the one with the Targaryen hair, and Bela is the one with the dark hair, and we're facing opposite directions because we're very different. Anyway, I have been in the melee with my siblings and our other teammates with mixed results right now. I've faced off against Alison Mormont, who is a powerful, squat northerner who I'm actually really kind of scared to fight. But I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. And we're now struggling a little. Just we need to give our brother a chance to take a few breaths and get his shit straight.
Yeah.
Like in
so
general, or just the melee?
In the melee. I would never
for
go
now.
back here.
Yeah, for now we'll worry about getting his shit straight in the melee. There is, of course, one last omnipotent character that needs to be introduced. That is over my head. We have the Stream Boss and the Iron Throne. If you defeat the Stream Boss through bits and cheers and all that good stuff, you get to give a destiny point to a character of your choosing, not necessarily a player character of your choosing. It can be any of our lovely and talented PCs. It can be any of their allied NPCs. It can be an NPC that's not exactly an ally. It could be whoever they're fighting. If you're just a really big fan of some other NPC, then you can go like, yay, this dude's my favorite from the show. This dudette is my favorite from the books. This Duderino is my favorite from my fan fiction. Whatever. Just give your destiny points to whoever you like.
I feel
And you
I
can
feel
help
called
them
out,
out.
Rusty.
I am certain I don't know what you mean. But yeah, so do what you want. You can give that destiny point to anybody. Whoever claims the Iron Throne at the end of the session gets to give out a royal boon because they sit the throne for the next 2 weeks. Royal boons go to... See, heavy breathing. We're all just excited thinking about royal boons. The royal boons can go out to any house that you like. You can give a royal boon to all of House Nymerian, and something will break their way in the future. They'll get some good luck. You can give a royal boon to any old house that there is. We recently had House Baratheon get chosen for a royal boon, and that added to all of the tournament prizes because House Baratheon is showing off their fantabulous wealth, and it also got Bobby B himself, King Robert Baratheon, to wade out into the melee and
is
want to
terrifying.
show off his personal prowess. So yeah, you can give those royal boons to whoever you want. Our most recent royal boon, I'm not going to give it away, but a non-house entity
Yeah,
was
interesting.
chosen. We talked things over with the claimer of the throne, and we figured out another kind of group that could be picked to have some good luck kind of fall their way in
Go
in
Silent
coming.
Sisters.
Yeah, well, they're cheering you on from the sidelines.
Team Sept.
But yeah, so you can pick kind of a faction if you're just all about the maesters, or if you really like, not so much in this game, but like the Watchers on the Wall. You can pick the Night's Watch, whatever. But mostly it's going to be a house. But we got all that going on. But let's round out the team of the Maiden. Because there are 7 teams of 7 fighters each that are engaged in the melee. Joining you guys and rounding out that team 07 was Sir Vannon Rivers, the bastard ward of the house. Oris Waters, your oversized squire with a pretty swanky new greatsword that you guys didn't buy for him. Your cousin, the Will of Will, Lord of House Will. So he's your cousin and your neighbor, with Scorpion, the Valyrian steel blade of his house, and Sir Nathan Lugas, your 7th member, a rowdy, bawdy Stormlander that you met this week. And you have befriended him and his siblings. Currently, however, the Will of Will has been battered right out of the game, and Sir Vannon Rivers has been pounded out of the melee. So you guys are down a couple team members, but you're still holding on with 5 members. You guys defeated to the man. The team of the maiden has already beaten the team of the mother, which was a team that seemed primarily composed of Crownlanders and a few or Westerlanders and Crownlanders. Um, and you guys defeated the heirs to House Brax, the mighty Westerland knight from House Crakehall, a couple other Westerlanders like Sir Amory Lorch, the Gold Cloak Alardine, who's been kind of a dick since session 1. And then their kind of odd man out was Red Ronnet Connington, another Stormlander. But then they were also joined by Sir Aaron Santagar, who was, of course, the knight that trained the eldest son of House Nymerian. So he got the satisfaction of beating his mentor in a fight. And then, yeah, but hey, still wins. And then you guys got jumped by a motley assortment of 5 people as the melee swirls and storms around you. They came running at you in 1s and 2s, but you're fighting Lothor Brune, who is a lowborn sellsword that is currently hammering away at Bela, matching sword and shield to spear and shield. Gangly Langley Woods, the hapless Northman that is engaged to Marita Lugas, who you've met this week and befriended. And he lost to Bela pretty soundly, but he arrived alongside fellow Northman Alisane Mormont, who has been hammering away with her axe at Reyna's shield. Balin Swan, the lantern-jawed Stormlander, who fought with Oris. Looks like he drew blood, but he fell before Oris's heavy greatsword. And the Knight of the Vale, Sir Vardis Egan, who beat Lucaris in the joust narrowly, and who is now, the two of them are kind of both on their last legs here in the melee. So with that, yeah.
It's been a surprisingly personal melee for Luke.
Right?
Luke had better beat him because I made a snide comment to Littlefinger that he was going to.
Yeah, so
Don't make a liar out of me.
You wouldn't want to lie to Peter Baelish, of course. That would be dishonorable to lie to a member of the small council.
Are you accusing
it's more
gentle
like
Peter Baelish of a misdeed?
Well, it's more that if I make a brag, I'd like it to come true.
Yeah. So, what we're going to do is just pick up with a brand new round. So we are going to kick things off with Adam on the sidelines, picking an NPC or picking a PC that he thinks is going to do well this round and talking him up with some opposed persuasion test against an NPC. So Adam, you've got Luke, you've got Bela, you've got Reyna, or you've got Oris remaining on your, or Nathan Lucas remaining on your team. And you can talk them up. And with the NPCs, they are both currently unengaged. So you could also kind of, because they're NPCs, if you say, oh, I'm sure that Oris will sweep in and take the flank, or, oh, no doubt Balin Swan will charge in and trounce the sellsword that's fighting a woman, or, whatever you want to describe, you can kind of control an NPC this round, because you're a player character and they're an NPC. So you can kind of call a shot that way. So we got Reyna, Bela, Luke, Oris, or Nathan. Who do you want to talk up?
Given the situation with Luke, I'm kind of inclined to try and give him more dice.
That certainly makes sense.
Keep him in the game.
Sure.
Unless Robert wants me to just let it happen.
Do what you'll do.
Okay.
All right then.
Do it.
So that's going to be another little smirk to and from Lord Peter Baelish, Master of Coin, because of course he is the most highborn member of the Vale of Erin that is nearby. Unless you'd like to raise your voice and perhaps make a comment towards John Aaron himself, the Hand of the King, because Vardis Egan is the captain of the guard in the Erie, his keep. So I'm going to let you choose. You want to make a snide comment to Peter Baelish, or do you want to talk about combat with John Aaron?
Let's change it up. Let's go with John Aaron.
Alrighty. So what kind of comment are you making?
Usually responding. I don't know. Something terribly witty and devastating, obviously.
No pressure.
No pressure whatsoever. I just have to think up something really witty on the spot.
If you want, you can roll the dice and then see how witty it has to be.
With Aaron, you can do.
Oh God!
Strategy
if I fail, that's gonna be so bad. Sorry. I guess I don't know very much about Vardis Egan, so there's I don't have a thread to tug on that I know of.
I mean, what you know about him is that he barely beat your brother the other day in the joust.
Yeah.
Like that's, so it's, you could just say something about it. Looks like another fine combat between those two, or, because they're both kind of neck and neck right now again.
Yeah,
So,
I suppose I can kind of, because I don't want to just be rude to the Hand of the King.
You suck like your guy sucks. Oh.
Yeah, it doesn't. Remember, it doesn't have to be talking shit.
I mean,
it's just.
If the melee had been going on like last night, Adam might have said something that bold,
Yes.
but not today. He's too hungover. Right. But yeah, so, it's looking like it'll be another close one thing between these two.
All right.
Though, of course, my money is on my brother.
That sounds like just kind of a charm test to me, because you're not taunting or anything like that. So let's just go persuade charm, and I have rolled his. All right,
I took convince rather than charm, so
Yeah.
yeah.
That's just you're not exactly presenting evidence and a prepared PowerPoint slide about how your brother's gonna win. You're just kind of making pleasant conversation about another fight going on. So we're gonna default to charm for that.
Yeah, it's almost like I created a character that's terribly earnest.
I really want to see this PowerPoint slide.
Yes, here's a 7-point slide about why my brother is better than your knight, despite your knight winning the only time they've competed.
Very
right.
Alexander Hamilton, isn't it?
Yeah,
here's a list of 30 reasons why. That is 16.
All right.
That sounds good.
That is a much better roll than John Aaron had on his dice. Not quite enough for a second degree of success, though. He had a 12, so you beat him by 4, so just the 1 degree. But that is 1 bonus die to Lucaris to be used this round. So you are bolstered by the confidence from the sidelines. John Aaron kind of quirks a bushy eyebrow your way and leans over on the big kind of not quite throne that the Hand of the King is sitting on. He goes, we'll see how this fight fares, young Adam. It was a close thing the other day. And he seems to just kind of be, good-natured commentary. He doesn't, insult your mother or anything like that, because John Aaron's a pretty good dude. So that will kick us off, and keeping up with the kind of cutting down on die rolls cinematic initiative that we've been doing, let's go to Luke with this, since that's kind of where the attention is. So Luke, you're up. Vardis Egan has been kind of breathlessly hunkering down behind his shield. You looks like the next of you to land a clean shot is gonna finish this thing.
He's been behind his shield. I've struck it multiple times, and then I've pulled back for a second. I need to break this defense and end this. So I drop my own shield. I go to 2-hand, and I recklessly attack.
Holy crap.
Alrighty. So that's going to give you +1 damage from going with the two-handed grip. And the reckless attack is rolling and keeping 1 extra die. So let's do that.
Okay, I got a bunch here. Let's do this. Okay, I'm going to keep a total of 5. I got a lot of 6s and 4s and 5s, so let's see. Okay, I have 25 before modification. I think I'm down a total of -2, so 23.
All right.
Woo!
His defense roll, we got, because he's doing a full parry again. He is all about it. The good news for you, or the bad news, is he's keeping 5 dice. The good news is 3 of those dice came up 2s this round. So his defense is a 17, gonna go to a 21 from the large shield because that's just a flat combat defense bonus. But a 21, that's before his injuries and penalties for them. So his defense is an 18 this round total. And what was your to hit roll?
23.
Which is an extra degree of success, which means you're going to be doing double damage.
I'm doing 5 right now, so
Yep.
10 altogether.
That's going to be 10 points. That is going to get that much through his armor. He falls. He brings his shield up to parry it, but your unexpected aggression is enough to just hammer sword and shield into his helmet, and it rattles him for a second, and a second swing just knocks him to the turf. So you have beaten Sir Vardis Egan, and you guys are evensies Stevensies.
And Luke falls to his knees exhausted, but still in the fight.
All right. Not a bad way to open.
Unless like a fly lands on him or something, and then he's
yeah, unless somebody looks at him real hard. Somebody in the sidelines cheers a little too loud, and it hurts his ears. And
it's so loud.
But
yeah,
you do hear some groans from the Vale contingent in the stands. At least Adam does. Everyone else is probably kind of distracted. Sir Vardis Egan is a dashing knight of the Vale, and he has been humbled by this new to his spurs upstart young Drake of House Nymerian. So good stuff there, and that's a pretty solid start to the session. No pressure, Bela and Reyna. It's just that one of you just beat the hand of the king in a social roll, and the other one just, finished off the captain of the guard of the Aerie. So, who wants to follow that act? We
To
want
reply to the
Bela-
chat, am I still wanting to fight the drunk king? Sure, why not? Somebody's really drunk.
So
Yeah,
Bela,
yeah,
I'll take him.
And I'll roll persuasion against Cersei Lannister. Why don't we? Let's go wild.
Bela or Reyna, who wants to be up next?
Sister, would you like to go first?
Okay, fine.
All right. So, continuing your fight with Alisane Mormont, the burly northerner that has wandered into civilization to eat your garbage.
All right, so we have been trading blows back and forth, and she's been trying to kind of beat me down. I am going to attempt to, be faster than her and try to get around her shield.
All right. And she's been kind of whooping and hollering and growling and snarling while you guys fight. Like, she's just having a good old time. She was, hoping that this tourney would be all right. And finally, the tournament is something that she likes. There's no horses in the way. So she's just having a good time here. But yeah, go ahead and give me a long blades roll to whoop on the Lady Alisane.
All right, at fighting, I have 1 bonus die, and then I have expertise,
which is an
gives me
additional
4.
Yep, an additional rolled and kept.
I got 2 6s, so that's a good thing. But I also rolled 2 1s. That's bad.
Yeah, it happens.
6, 9, 10.
A
12.
10 total?
Sorry.
I was
12
like, what the
plus
what?
4 is 16.
All right, 16. And then did you knock off for any injuries or fatigue?
I don't have any injuries.
Right, you took only health points. So, okay, then we are good. So your total is a 16. What is your base damage?
Longsword. Or agility.
It's athletics.
Athletic. Sorry, I
No
accidentally
problem.
closed the file, so.
Yeah, that happens. Because for the record, that is 2 degrees of success. So whatever your damage value is, you will be doubling it. I believe yours is either a 3 or a 4.
It is a athletics 3.
All right. So some damage does get through. You get past her shield arm and give her a whack on that shield arm, kind of working on bruising it down, slow down her reactions with the shield and all that. Your sword clanks against. She's got like a breastplate over ringmail
Right.
that's much battered and abused armor. There's some fresh battery and abusing to it.
And I know that's
but,
not very glorious, but it's really what this boils down to in
Yeah.
Westeros.
Trying to win a fight. I'm gonna actually have Lady Alasane Mormont return the favor while the action is right there. So
Super.
she kind of bashes at you with her shield to create some space, and then she lashes out with an overhand swing of her axe. Robert,
What the hell?
Robert, snack farther away from your microphone.
Sorry.
You're like that guy at the movie theater.
I didn't realize my mic was open, and I apologize.
Yes,
Plus, I got stuck.
it very much is.
But one time I grabbed this bag of chips.
So,
I sneak a few in.
You bring enough
Mike
to
gives it
share.
away.
so
It's a
what
good sized bag, probably.
is your combat defense, Reyna?
My combat defense is a big old whopping 6.
Okay, she got 2 degrees of success on you.
I am so
that is-
sorry. My shield
that is-
adds to that,
Oh.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, shields add to combat defense.
So that makes it a 10.
Okay, she only got 1 degree of success then.
Thank you,
She did
God.
not have a great roll. So that is 5 points of damage, which I
It
believe
is
your
0
armor
points
should
of
so.
damage.
Yep.
My armor rating is 9.
Fantastic. So you got the better of Alasane Mormont in that particular exchange.
Woo!
Let's see if the same holds true for your sister. Bela, you are up against Lothar Brune. You are much quicker, more aggressive, and more nimbly pimbly. So you will go first, unless you want him to go first and you want a destiny point.
You will give me a destiny point for that?
I will give you a destiny
Oh.
point if you let him go first. It's your call. He's been hitting you pretty hard. May or may not be worth it. But I'm a firm believer in players making choices. And since we're throwing initiative rules out the window, whatever.
No, I'm going to go first. I want to see if I can
All
do
right.
this. I'm also going to drop my shield, and I'm going to reckless attack.
All right. So
Wow.
the shield gets dropped. The spear's in both hands, and I picture you turning into like a whirling dervish,
Yeah.
where you're suddenly like using with both hands on the spear. It's using both ends of it and just bashing him from all different directions, and yeah.
This was not a particularly good roll. So let me add this up. I have a 16.
All right. His combat defense is that. You are pretty close to another degree of success. If you can get like 2 points on that,
I can
Just so you
add
know,
2. Yep.
like
All right, I will use a
that
destiny.
would get you another degree. I know you're kind of
Yeah.
going all in here. Okay,
Yep.
so that'll make it 3 degrees of success.
Woof.
So what is your base damage with, the
Two-handed?
extra from? Yep,
It is 6 for my base.
nice, and it's
Woo.
piercing 1.
That's
He's
right.
gonna lose some armor, so you're hitting him for 18 points of damage. He is currently gonna be armor value 7. that is going to exactly take him out. Yeah, his last,
Yes.
because it gets him to exactly 0 health and exactly his last injury. So it was, yeah, like
Right.
if it wasn't for that piercing, like just that 1 point of armor that you took away, was what made the math like the neat
Wow.
and perfect division. So he does work. Like he seems kind of nonplussed at this kind of different Roynish fighting style. Feels like as a sellsword, he's probably traveled and fought all kinds of people, and he's working on it. He's trying to protect both sides, yada yada yada, but he is not ready for the raw aggression and skill that you were able to bring to bear, and you're able to, in like the last blow of the combo, you clip him in the head just right with the butt end of the spear, and it drops him. And it looks like he thinks about getting up for a second, and then he just kind of tosses his sword into the dirt and gives a rueful shake of his head. So yeah, that was pretty good stuff.
That was great
Um,
stuff.
Which leads us to the end of the round, which is going to be the rest of your team in this kind of cinematic initiative that we're doing. As Alisane Mormont kind of grimaces a little and rolls her shoulder and prepares her shield arm for the next flurry of blows, Nathan Lugas just comes charging in from off screen,
Oh my god.
and just barrels into her with a roll.
I imagine he's yelling, Lucas!
Yeah. He's just
For the horde.
yeah, he's just like a like it's like a World Star video. It's like a brawl after a college football game, and then he just comes in from off screen, basically out of nowhere, and just piles onto Alisane Mormont, and just smashes her low, and then Oris kind of stands over her with his sword raised, and then sees that she does not need finishing off, so he doesn't accidentally murder her.
Yeah,
So-
that was bad.
Yeah, because 3-on-1 is gonna do the trick. So yeah, Alisane Mormont falls, and as she is clambering to her feet, she's giving the Lady Reyna a kind of boisterous grin. Da! The men ruin everything. And she goes huffing and stomping off towards the sidelines.
Well, now my siblings can legitimately say they fought a bear.
Right?
And let's do a quick check-in on an NPC. Chat, I'm going to give you guys one kind of NPC cinematic combat round. Somebody in chat that's not a player character, name an NPC you want us to check in on while I handle this. Let's do...
Yeah, a quick refresher for people that might not remember who's all in it right this minute.
I'm not going to do the full list of all 49 fighters, but you guys.
But I mean,
do...
surely
Yeah, there's lots. Like Beric Dondarrion is still up. I'm trying to just go for like interesting characters. Bronze Jan Royce, Sir Lynn Corbray. They're still in the fight. Robert Baratheon. Yeah, he's still he's still stomping around somewhere. Thoros of Myr is still in the fight. The Ironwood boys from that rival house down there in the Stoneway.
Dang it.
That's where we need to go next.
But the surprise kind of advantage, or not advantage, but fight that I'll share is Sir Richard Horp is a fairly renowned knight that was at one point quite in the running to be a member of the Kingsguard. And he has, in some ways, the look of a Lynn Corbray to him. Not in that he wears sexy tight leather pants, but that he really seems to enjoy the fighting and the killing. Not so much the gallantry like a Tyrell, but he doesn't mind the taste of blood. He's got that look to him. And he is a renowned fighter. Um, but he falls before Sir Edmund Ambrose, one of the Knights of the Reach. However, in a surprising turn just after that, the bastard Walder Rivers just hammers Edmund Ambrose into the ground. So he is the eldest illegitimate son of Walder Frey. And despite his bastardry, he is a known kind of powerhouse in House Frey's political structure and one of their most fearsome fighters. And he certainly looks it in that instant. It's just cutting with precision and savagery and a competence that maybe some don't expect from any given Frey. So the bastard Walder Rivers acquits himself very well. And it looks like we got a couple of votes in chat for my boy and yours, Thoros of Myr. So let me decide who he is squaring off against. He is fighting Sir Guyard Morrigan, who's a Reach Lord, a Marcher Lord in the Stormlands. He's got the crow motif going on his stuff, and he's a pretty renowned and dashing swordsman. And Thoros of Myr is not a dashing swordsman; he is a renowned brawler with this steel sword that is just wrapped in flame. He poured some oil on it and said a prayer to his queer associate god, the Lord of Light. And he is singing like a hymn as he just hammers into this guy with this bar of flaming steel. And the dashing Stormlord is just like, what the fuck is this? Like, we're not really trained to handle this sort of thing. Burning swords aren't something my master at arms prepared me for. And this guy is just like when I hit him, he just hits me back harder, and he's loving every second of this. And in a matter of seconds, Guyard Morrigan's shield is on fire, and he's just getting battered back against like the fence posts that kind of hem everybody in. And when he doesn't have a shield to put between himself and that bar of flaming steel, he just submits with a curse and a kind of petulant stomping off like, the fuck is this? I'm supposed to be fighting knights. This is some foreigner coming here with a burning sword and his weird god, and that's not what I signed up for. Fucking immigrants are stealing our jobs, and I don't know how to fucking fight that. What is going on? Like, and just this kind of like traditionalist kind of prissy, formal, chivalrous way.
I'm not even supposed to be here today.
Yeah. Like,
And that was Morrigan, correct?
yes, Sir Guyard Morrigan falls to Thoros of Myr. What we are going to do next is I'm going to leave it up to the team, which means I'm going to leave it up to Bela, who has been making tactics rolls for everybody. You guys seem to be the eye of the storm for a moment. So if you guys want, Bela can make a tactics roll, and everyone else can make a catch your breath roll.
Oh yeah, let's do
So
it.
you can make one roll, or you guys can jump in aggressively, and I will describe the next wave coming at you, but you guys will all get one bonus die fighting them, because you still have half a moment to gather yourselves, and then you can respond together. So it's everybody gets a catch a breath, and Bela gets a tactics, or you all get one bonus die on your next attack. So let's leave it up to Bela to make that call.
I think we need to collectively recover a little bit and set ourselves. So we're going to catch a breath, and I'm going to find some tactic for us to use in the next little bit.
All right. So, Bela, go ahead and roll me your warfare with a tactics specialty. Everyone else roll endurance, and I don't think any of you have any specialties in it, so I don't have to remember which specialty it is. But make that roll on
That's
the
I think.
on the endurance roll for
Did that die?
every 5 points, you get back 1 health point. So it's
Alright.
difficulty 0, and like every degree of success gets you back a health point.
Okay, I got 11, so that's 3 altogether.
I only got 9, so that's 1.
No, it's going to be 2, because you get 1 for difficulty 0, and then
Oh.
1 for 5.
So I get
At
2
least-
points of damage back.
At least that's how I'm going to do it right now, because I don't feel like looking things up.
Okay.
And Bela, what are we looking at on your warfare test?
12, a little bit less than in the past.
All right, let me double check on a difficulty for that. So the base difficulty is a 9, so it is going to be 1 success. So you
Okay.
get 1 bonus die. Who do you want to give that to on your team, as you're kind of telling everybody to kind of like group up and so and so take point, or like however you want to describe it. Who do you want to give that bonus die to?
I'm gonna give a bonus die to brother Luke because the importance of those fights he just won aren't lost on me. So saying basically like, nice job recovering on that Egan fight and taking out your master before. Not master, but your what's the word?
That's my
Your
mentor.
trainer. Yeah.
Okay.
So just keep your wits about you.
Okay.
You got this.
All right.
He will
So
stand back up after taking his breath, and he's ready to go.
Okay then.
what's up, Brayna?
What about me?
Okay, I had the and then nothing else. So I just wouldn't know
Yeah,
if there was.
sorry. I was
something
reorienting
particular.
myself. We're ready.
All right then. Your lot are accosted next by a trio of knights from the Reach. It looks like the remnants of that first team to have been announced. The team of the warrior, but without Sir Garland Tyrell still leading them. But the kind of tattered remnants of that team come charging at the 3 of you out of the din of the melee. Sir Garth Greysteel Hightower, Sir Emin Quee, and Sir Parman Crane. You feasted with Sir Parman Crane the other night, or last night, sorry. So you recognize him, but the 3 of them don't perhaps look as battered as you might like. It looks like the Reach Knights have kind of been able to pick their fights, except for the mad dash of a couple lone combatants that charged at them. So give me chat, give me odds or evens. Somebody chat, just pick odds or evens. And we will see which NPC gets attacked as the Reach Knights announce their self. Odds or evens from chat. We got
There we go.
odds. Thank you.
Odds.
Okay then.
Baron, thanks.
All right. So Baron gets Nathan Lugas attacked.
He can handle it.
Yeah, he can handle it.
Well,
We'll see.
maybe. This is a yikes. All right, that's a 23. Like,
That's not good.
6, 11, and that's holy snikes.
Holy crap.
Yeah, that was a really good roll. Now the good news for you guys is this is what NPCs are for. right? Like, so you would rather have them roll this
Sure.
well against an NPC than against one of you. But yes, Garth Greysteel and Sir Emin Quee kind of emerge from the din of the melee, and the two of them just cut down Nathan Lugas as he is kind of leaning on his sword for a moment as he clambering to his feet after just like body tackling Alisane Mormont, and he's like, of all the women on this field of battle, she's the one that I'd want to tackle the least. Oof! As he then just gets fucking clobbered from behind as a pair of knights just rush in, and they shield bash him and they hack at him with their swords a couple of times. And like his take a breath or catch a breath action is just completely interrupted by a pair of knights. That was just a really
Charging in off screen.
good, really good handful of kept
If it
dice
makes
for
you
them.
feel better, you're probably the other two women he was talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, you are the only other women on the field right now, so it was him just saying he really wants to wrestle you or whatever, in his brutish Lugai way.
He just loves wrestling.
He's flirting. That's how he flirts.
It is.
So, with that, we are going to start a new round. So, Adam, your family and friends are squared off against some Reach Knights. Who do you want to give a bonus to?
Oh, who's in the most trouble right now?
Your brother is certainly still the most beat up.
Who's he fighting?
Nobody right now.
Yeah, we haven't
Nobody right now.
singled out opponents just yet. I'm going to let
Okay.
players kind of do that, but whoever it is, it's going to be a knight from the Reach.
Okay. Yeah. See, I'm kind of like I want to share it around, but I'm also I want to keep Luke in it. So I'll pick Luke one more time.
Alrighty. So again, it's just kind of 3 Reach Knights. None of them are particularly famous or infamous.
Yeah.
But we'll say that now leaning against the railing and catching his breath near you is a somewhat chagrined-looking Sir Garland Tyrell that looks like you'll be making your persuasion roll against.
Bless.
He probably has some injuries to give him a negative.
Well, you'll notice he's chagrined and not battered. He only fought Lynn Corbray, and he quit because Lynn Corbray functionally disarmed him. Didn't beat the crap out of him. So, yeah. But yeah, so you'll be quipping against Sir Garland.
Yeah, sorry. A thing came to mind, but I'm not going to say it.
Haha, Hey, Sir Garland, wouldn't it be crazy if you just distracted everybody by kissing me right now? I mean, JK.
Haha, just a joke though, unless you're into it.
Oh, that's so funny.
Now you're just turning Adam into George Michael from Arrested Development.
Kinda.
I bet that would totally mess with
Maybe if I
Reyna.
sit on your lap, we'll get a better view. Just it was a joke. It was a joke.
Yeah, I mean, what happens in the tourney stays in the tourney.
So, any sort of complimentary statement about your brother against some Reach Knights of no particular renown?
Well, as valiantly as you fought, my brother has just demonstrated that old legend about dragons being able to melt stone, so he'll make light work of some flowers.
Alrighty. Talking shit about the house sigil and stuff.
I rolled well.
Now's a good time to do so.
Yeah, that is. 22.
You rolled very well.
I got 2 6s and 2 5s for that.
Sir Garland, perhaps unsurprisingly, has the attractive advantage that let him re-roll an unlucky 1, but
And,
uh,
and Adam is very susceptible to that.
yeah, it also gives him +1 degree of success against against young Adam Nymerian.
Yeah,
It's just a new trait. Any man with
Garland
the,
just
any man.
Garland just makes a quip, and Adam's like, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I'll give my bonus die to one of your knights. I'm
That's a
sorry.
good point.
I just want you
Your
to
eyes
like
are
me.
dreamy.
So that was a very good roll though against his 17. So you actually got an extra degree of success in a
Nice.
social combat against a Tyrell. So it's just another notch in the old dream journal back at home.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Wow.
go back to my pavilion and write about that with all the arts around it.
Yeah, I totally impressed him. I hope he tells Loris about me. So that will be 2 bonus dice going to the scrappy young fighter, Sir Lucaris Nymerian. So let's go ahead and swoop the camera to Luke again, because that's kind of where the action is. So Luke, which of these three Knights of the Reach do you want to tackle? They all look a little bit battered, but they're Reach Knights, so they still look pretty put together and stuff.
I guess I'll just pick one randomly, whoever the closest one is.
That would be Sir Parman Crane, who you feasted with the other night.
I will catch my breath, step forward. Sir Crane, I'll be your opponent. And,
All right.
Once he looks up, not to stab him in the back, I will attack.
Sling them bones.
Okay, I've got a lot of bonus dice here, so let me add it all up.
Woo! I like the sound of that.
You don't gotta roll them. I don't have my shield with me through the ground, so I guess I'm still two-handed fighting. That's a shit ton of bonus dice. Okay. There's a lot of ones in there. Glad I got the bonus dice. Let's see.
Yeah, the good news is you get to ignore them, which I find really satisfying in a roll and keep game.
Which means I'm keeping 2 6s, a 5, and a 4. So that is
Not bad.
23.
Nice.
And I'm
All
down
right.
a total of -2, so 21.
All right. The good news for you is he has combat defense 6 right now, so that is exactly enough for degrees of success. So we got 6, 11, 16, 21. That means you are doing 4 times your base damage.
Well, I'm doing 5 right now because I got 2
Yep.
hands on it.
So that is a solid shot for 20 points at him. The bad news for you is that all the Reach Knights, unlike some of your prior opponents, are wearing very finely crafted plate mail. None of them are in makeshift armor or half and half armor or lighter armor. So he does absorb about half of that, but you're able to attack at the weak spots and also just kind of batter at him. And it certainly seems to have gotten a fair amount of damage through.
I'm going to yell down at Nathan Lugas. Drinks on me tonight, Lugas.
He kind of groans half consciously, but one gauntleted hand is like, as he starts working his way towards crawling to the sidelines. So, all right, ladies, who wants to be up next?
Last time it was me, so this time it's also probably me.
Oh, I can
wanna
go
go next?
instead.
You go. You
All right,
go.
I will. I'll go instead. I don't
Alright.
have any preference between the remaining two. In fact, I don't even remember their names. So, whichever one is closest.
All right, we'll say you're going after the Grey Steel,
Okay.
a Knight of House Hightower.
Is he close enough that I could take an aim action, or is it where I'll have to move?
Sure, and they were advancing into your melee range.
Because otherwise
And,
I'll
yeah.
make a charge action instead.
I leave it up to you. Because if you want, you can attack the one that's farther away and get the charge. Like, since that's how you're deciding, it's either way.
Let's do the
You
charge.
can-
Let's hope I can get a large multiplier on this.
All right.
So that's minus one kept die, correct?
Correct. You
Okay.
still roll the normal dice, but you keep one less, but your damage value goes up by 2. So on a hit, it's
Yep.
pretty
And
substantial.
unfortunately, this cannot be reckless, but that's
Yeah.
the nature of it.
It's already pretty reckless.
Yeah.
You're a loose cannon, Nymerian. Turn in your gun and badge.
Yeah. Not
You
not
don't
the,
play by the rules, but I
not
like
the
your style.
best roll I could have gotten, but I have a 13.
Okay. That is going to be 2 degrees of success.
Ooh.
You would need a 16 for a 3rd degree. So I don't know
I-
what dice you're keeping
No,
or dropping.
2 is my next one.
Yeah, not going to work out. So 2 degrees of success, though. What's your damage with the charge and the two-handed shenanigans?
It becomes 8.
All right, so that's going to be 16 points. He's down 1 point of armor. So that would be 7 points getting through. Okay. He is not expecting to be charged by a woman, or probably anybody, but especially not a screaming Dornish woman leveling Valyrian steel at him. And he's recovering from the blow that downed Nathan Lugas, and he brings his sword up to try and parry and twist out of the way. And it's still a solid shot that gets through into like the gap between his shoulder and breastplate. And you have to check the blow a little bit because you're stabbing somebody with a Valyrian steel spear. But it was a solid hit. He is functionally, just to let you know, he's pretty much out of health points. So anything more from this, he's going to be taking injuries. So you almost, in a way, you kind of one-shot him. And that you got him down to like only injury realm. So let's go ahead and have, let's go ahead and have him attack back though.
Okay.
Since we're right there, it's where the camera is. So as the spear is retracted, he kind of bashes at it with his shield to try and regain the initiative, and then he rolls a bunch of 3s and 4s.
Good.
Now the downside is it
He's
is
a
a
lot.
bunch of 3s and 4s.
Yeah.
But
Could be a lot worse.
that is going to be a 17 total.
Okay, my defense is a 9.
Okay, so we got 9 goes to 14, so just 2 degrees of success. That's going to be 8 points of damage, which I believe
Is
your armor will
exactly my brigandine armor.
All right, so your defensive footwork and spear work and armor are just enough to keep it from landing as soundly as he would like. Reyna, you could be up next, or it could be Oris, or it could be your opponent Emin Kui, who is now squaring off with you. Your call. If you make it Emin Kui, you'll get a destiny point.
I was considering making it Emmett Queen, and now you tempt me. Let's do it.
All right, Sir Emin levels his sword at you after a kind of perfunctory salute. You're pretty sure it's the first time he's ever saluted a lady. Certainly the first time he saluted a lady in a melee. So he goes through the motions of chivalry, seems to hesitate out of chivalry because he's supposed to be protecting all women, but
Right.
also he is respecting your martial prowess. So you can tell there's a little bit of a hitch in his step before he wades in at you. But then he decides to respect your wishes in this matter, and you probably kind of wish that he hadn't, because he's
It's
keeping
hard, I'm sure.
he's keeping 66544.
Oh,
no.
Yeah, he is dropping a 4 as a bonus die.
oh my
Uh,
god!
he-
I'm gonna use that
Ouch.
destiny point.
Yeah.
He rolled pretty well. So right now you are looking at a 25 coming at you. I don't remember your combat defense.
10.
So Yeah, if you make him drop a die, it will lose a degree of success against him.
All right, I will use the destiny point you just gave me via suckering me in.
Yeah. What?
Yep.
I don't sucker you in. I give you meaningful choices.
Okay.
So that will make it 665 and 1 4 that he keeps instead of 2 4s. So 12 plus 9, that's like 21. So we got 10, 15, 20, 3 degrees of success. That will be 12 points of damage. The
All
good
right,
news
I will
is
take the 3.
for all 3 of you, the comparatively good news is that as gallant knights of the Reach, they all seem very interested in showing off their swordplay skills with a traditional kind of sword and board combo. So they're not using, big ass long axes or brutal bashing weapons that are going to damage your equipment and wear down your defenses. They're all kind of using that perhaps not quite optimized anti-knight weapon. So there's that. Oris is up. Hey, Adam.
What about me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. We'll let Raina go. Well, while Raina's going, Adam, figure out what you want Oris to do this round.
Oh,
How's that sound? You can be the drone operator against Oris.
And you
Okay.
can't choose yourself.
Yeah, like Oris takes off his armor. No, but just figure out what you want to go after.
Aw.
But Raina, you are up to return the blow on Sir Eminqui.
So he is fighting with a sword. You said it, a long sword.
Yep,
Alright,
a long sword and a kite shield.
All right. I have a long sword and a large shield. So.
Yep.
And I also have the expertise and all that. So I will aim for an
Okay.
extra bonus die. I have a 3 in fighting. I have a bonus die for longsword. I have a kept bonus die for expertise,
There we go.
and then the one for aim. So
Yep.
I'm rolling 6, keeping 4.
I think it should be 7. Keep 4
All right. Well, I'll roll another one. Hold on.
because it's.
Right.
I think.
All right. So I have a 6, 6, 5, 3
Nice.
for those 4. So 12, 17, 20.
Any penalties knocking that down?
Not yet.
Okay, so you're sitting on a 20. If you can get one more point out of a destiny point or anything like that, that would be another degree of success. Just
Sure,
FYI.
I'll add it.
All right, so we got
Alright.
6, 11, 16, 21. It's going to be 4 times your damage rating.
Which is 3 plus 1. I have a plus 1.
Okay,
Which I forgot
so
about
it's
last
4. All right, so 16 points. His armor eats a bunch of it. It's going to be. All right, he is looking pretty battered, and you see him lift his eyebrows kind of impressively as he retreats under your barrage of strikes. And he's able to parry them or catch them on his shield, but you know full well that that sort of bone-jarring impact still, batters you
It hurts.
and rattles your bones. So he's looking a little,
yeah.
little nonplussed.
At the end of that exchange, I will give him a little salute with my sword because you can't really see
Yeah.
my face because of the helmet.
Yeah, and he'll take kind of a half step back as you both kind of stop after your exchange, and he'll give a little jaunty, quick return of it, like, huh? I spent that. Okay. Cool. So yeah, what do we got Oris doing? Because you guys have an extra player on the field here.
Yeah. That's so there's no unengaged opponent immediately for him to go for.
Not like in this knot of them that the team is currently fighting.
Sure. Okay.
Like if you wanted, you could just be like Oris Frenzy, and like I'll find some random fucking NPC that's left, But yeah, your call.
No, no, like a part of me that like really wants to pick like one of the kind of big contender opponents that, as a group, we're worried about, to try and take them out before they get to the people who have taken more damage. But also it's my precious Oris, and I don't want to put him in danger. So shit, right. Yes, I know my suffering's very funny. Right. Gee.
If I'm putting you uncomfortably on the spot, I could just have him attack somebody.
Yeah.
At this point, because it is team on team, he can attack any of these three knights without it being particularly dishonorable. So if you want, like, we could just, you could just pick one of them. I thought it might be fun for you to get to choose, but if it's putting you on the spot and blindsiding you, I apologize. It was.
I think I'm sort of in the headlights. Also just like not knowing like exactly who's near us.
Yeah, because we're keeping it all pretty vague and on purpose. It's confusing battle sequence, like the middle of Braveheart or something, where it's all just kind of going on, and
lots
then
of close cuts.
Yeah, you focus on a few fighters. That's kind of what we're doing on purpose here.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Any one of these three. Do you have a preference between the Grey Steel, Emin Kui, or Sir Parman Crane? We'll just have you call one of those three.
Okay, let's go with Emin Kui.
All right, so going to help out Reyna.
Yeah.
Okay. Oris will bellow to announce his presence in a chivalrous fashion, and we'll just say Oris lands like a 2-degree hit, and that will give him a couple injuries on top of stuff.
Huh?
One of the things I was trying to do earlier in the campaign was not show favoritism towards this particular NPC, so I was rolling out all of his fights to be fair instead of just narrating him crushing everybody. But that was also leading to me just rolling a lot against people in a way that some viewers didn't particularly care for. So instead, we're just going to say it's a 2-degree hit, 1 degree completely demolishes Emin Kui's armor rating. The next degree gets through, and he'll take a couple injuries. We'll keep it simple there. So yeah, Oris comes in from out of frame, announces his presence with a furious roar, because he's not out to like blindside anybody, and helps press the attack against Emin Kui. Which brings us to our traditional end of round NPC checkup. As the field is thinning, I am again going to make the call on this one, because you guys see Sir Lynn Corbray fighting back-to-back with Bronze-Yon Royce. They are the last members of the Team of the Smith, which was primarily made of Vale's Knights. And they are fighting against what remains of the Team of the Father, the dashing Lord Beric Dondarrion, the redoubtable knight Sir Bryndon Blackwood, and the bastard Walder Rivers, who has ferociously taken scalps, as it were. And not doing well. There's Hugh of the Vale, the squire, that's the other last member of the Team of the Smith, is just chopped down. And in the press of the melee, Lynn Corbray and Bronze-Yon are getting attacked on all sides because a few of the vagabonds of the Team of the Crone, vagabonds to you guys, because it's the Ironwoods and their allies, they're also pressing in from another direction, having just defeated a few of their foes. And you guys kind of see in slow motion, the camera spins to Lynn Corbray's eyes as he sees this fresh team of the Team of the Crone licking their chops and coming in at the flank. And he sees Bronze-Yon Royce now fighting 3 opponents by himself. And Lynn Corbray sees like 3 opponents coming at him, and he just smirks in
Oh.
slow motion, is like anime style. The camera goes shing shing against his face, and he lifts his lip, and he goes,
That
There
sounds like
is
you.
there is good news and ill, Bronzion. The bad news is we will soon be faced by 6 or 8 foes at once. The good news is, no matter who wins tomorrow, I can brag that I defeated the joust champion in the melee. And he spins artistically and slashes Bronzion Royce at the back of the leg, and
Holy shit!
then hammers into his helm and shoulder pads a few times after cutting him low. And then he very pointedly stabs Lady Forlorn into the dirt and sardonically surrenders to the 2 incoming teams threatening to dogpile him.
Ah!
That is some bullshit right there.
Ah!
Lynn Corbray has now defeated Sir Garland Tyrell and Bronzion Royce in the melee, so he
Oh,
can go
man.
home
Oh,
and brag about that.
brag.
That's just
Brag about that. Shit.
didn't even go down fighting. Fuck's sake.
He announced his intention ahead of time, so it doesn't count as a sudden but inevitable betrayal. So that'll be our NPC checkup for that round. A couple of big names, a couple of big chess pieces have been removed from the
Adam,
field.
that arrow thing, do it now.
Right?
And so we start a new round. And we start, as always, with our sideline commentator, Adam the Archer, dropping knowledge like he drops arrows. Who we rooting for this round, Adam?
Right. I think Raina needs some assistance this time. Am I right?
Pardon?
Well, she does have Oris helping against her
Yeah.
opponent now.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That's some assistance.
No, that's cool. I'll go with.
But I did have a really nice exchange with that Reach Knight
Mm-hmm.
where I looked, like I knew what the hell I was doing, and he appreciated it.
Yeah. Okay. That's. Yeah. You convinced me. So. I guess I'll go with Bela then, because if I just keep going with Luke.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, Bela is facing us against Garth the Greysteel. So you're going to be facing off with Sir Garland the Darlin Tyrell. So, sling dem perception dice.
Right. So it's still with Sir Garland.
Yep, he is kind of the representative of the Reach. The Lady Olena does not really come and watch tourneys anymore.
Yeah.
She's like, it's fine.
Right. Well, so you're making me come up with stuff first.
All right. Sir Garland then will,
Okay.
if you want, he can go. It would seem the Hightower has been rocked on his heels by your younger sister. We'll see, though. Towers are notoriously difficult to knock down, even for dragons.
But when they tumble hard.
Oh, just you wait
Listen to-
until the
listen to-
dragons come back.
Listen to Adam talking shit about people falling hard.
Oh,
Oh!
Wow.
Oh!
that is harsh.
I love you, Ash. Oh, the sad pout. That's how Marcella looked when you beat her in a persuasion roll last time. Oh,
Snap.
so you were very nice to Marcella. It was
I
very
whooped
sweet.
that 7-year-old's ass.
Yeah,
So-
just remind Adam of his terrible cripplement. Such a
Oh,
low,
no.
like two low blows, one after the other. Rusty, not cool.
Yeah. I'm just sorry. I'm still role playing as Lynn Corbray. I didn't mean to stay in
Yeah.
that headspace.
That's just his
So, yeah.
default.
I mean, you really are testing how loyal Adam is to his thirst.
So what's your
First,
what's your persuade total looking like?
It's 15. It's not great this time.
Okay then. Re-roll it because you guys tied.
Oh, okay.
So we're
Oh,
just
is
gonna
it-
do a re-roll.
Right.
We'll
Like,
just
what
keep
is
it.
it? Is this coming off a specialty?
I feel like the good-natured quip is still going with probably charm.
Okay. That is. I can't count. Right, yeah, 16.
There we go. You won. So that will be a bonus die to Bela. So yeah, he got a 14 on the reroll. So he went down just enough, and you went up just enough that all ended well for House Nymerian. And you continue your streak of kind of simple intrigues to bolster morale. So let's go to Lady Bela, fighting against a Knight of House Hightower of Old Town. What are you going to do with your spear from Funky Town?
Yeah, so after charging in, I'm going to go all out and attack again recklessly.
All right, then.
That's
gonna be
full razzle dazzle.
No kidding. So that is an extra rolled and kept die.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I'm just repeating stuff and doing the math to help out chat, as well as to double check our math. But yeah, we know there's a lot of clunky rules to keep track of, and we want to help you guys keep track of them, just like we want help keeping track of them. So we're saying stuff step by step to keep it all clear. So what is our total looking like, Bela Tower Slayer?
I have a 26.
Well,
Holy moly!
so close, but you only just barely missed. All right, is that a 26 after penalties?
It is.
Yikes! Because he is combat defense 6, which means you beat him by 20. So you are doing ×5 damage with your two-handed Valyrian steel weapon.
Oh,
I'm not even gonna do
30.
the math.
That's 30 damage.
Yeah.
that's 30.
So that's 20 points getting through. Taking all of his injuries does 16 of those points. So yeah, you have knocked him into the negatives.
Nice.
And he is backpedaling through this whole like combo of just like barely, fuck shit. He does not know what to do with himself against somebody that's fighting with a spear in that way. And that Roynish style, House Hightower's kind of been insulated from the traditional wars with Dorne, so he's like not quite used to that sort of thing, and you're really good at that fighting style anyway, and he's just like, what the fuck is this? Describe taking him out. Like, what's the finishing blow?
Yeah, so it's just like blow after blow as he's retreating, hitting him, knocking him back, and then finally setting him up high with the back of the spear, but then coming back down low and sweeping the legs to knock him back onto his back, and then pushing the spear right back down onto him for the just short of the killing blow.
Yes, the checking the blow as it pierces the armor so that I don't stab you in the appendix. And solid stuff. And it accidentally kill somebody. One of you already did that this week. You don't want to push your luck. So let's go to Luke next. Still squaring off against Sir Parman Crane. Do you want to attack next, or do you want a destiny point to let him attack next?
I like to attack next.
Probably a good call.
And I will recklessly attack. That's been paying off.
Okay. Going all in on it.
Violence.
I don't have 900 bonus dice this time, so let's see.
Sorry.
That's not a complaint.
I'm not supposed to play favorites.
I don't know why that tickled.
All right, let's go. And I'm keeping 5, so. Okay. 21. Sorry, I need 5. 22 altogether with the modifiers.
Okay, that is going to be, and your damage value is 4?
5.
5. Right, because you're using two-handed, so okay, that's going to do all
Yeah, I'm
those.
just welling away, not letting the rhythm end, and
Right, it is a soundly trouncing series of blows. He is now almost out of he's out of injuries, and you feel like one more good hit is going to take him out. Unfortunately, that is also the circumstances that you are in.
pretty much.
He is down to 3 health points remaining and no
I
injuries
have
left.
4, so I will win.
Yeah, so technically you're ahead right now, right?
It's up to you to go. So.
Unfortunately, yes, he is up next, and you attacked recklessly, so your combat defense. Oh no,
Not great.
So he's dropping a 3 and a 4 as his bonus dice.
Oh.
Yeah. This just.
I think with reckless attacking, I think my combat defense no shield is 4.
Yeah.
Wow.
He has a 27. Now he does have a -4 to it from injuries. So
23.
it's gonna be a
4 is less than
23.
7, I think.
Yes, 4 is just a few points less than that.
It's 4 degrees.
That's gonna be 4 degrees success. It's gonna be 16 points of damage.
If you've got a destiny point, you might want to.
I'm all out.
Oh,
Gives
shit.
me no next
And
2
I think-
points.
Even with a destiny point, that would drop it. Yeah, that would not cost him a degree of success by my math with the
So
reckless.
armor rating is 9. That's going to end up being how much damage did you say it was?
Damn it.
16.
Yeah, 16.
Okay, so 7 is going to knock me down by 3
Yeah.
points.
I think that is gonna take it.
Yeah, Luke will fall to his
Oh,
knees
no.
and pull his helmet off, put one hand up, and he's done.
Uh,
Barely
so,
conscious.
yeah, and Parman Crane is standing and like panting over you for a few moments, like he was really close to falling himself, and he's
Before I
leaning
go down,
Yeah.
can I blow a kiss to the crowd?
Oh,
You can
nice.
do it after you go down.
Okay.
But like the follow through from the last strike, he digs the point of his sword into the dirt, and he kind of pants over it for a moment. But when he straightens up again, he gives you a salute before kind of sighing to turn and see how the rest of the fight's going. So you
Well done,
acquitted
sir.
yourself
Well
well.
done. I think I am done here, but well done. I'm gonna turn to the crowd and wave.
Well, we got you an extra couple of rounds anyway, so.
Yeah, I mean, you lasted a pretty long time for a dude with a health point, at the start of this fight, or this day's fight at least. So, all right, good stuff. So that makes it Reyna. Let's say, do you want it to be you or Emin Kui that's up next? I'll continue to bait the hook with a destiny point if you
No,
grant
I'm
initiative.
going first.
Okay.
And this guy, Oris, did he put him out or close to out?
Oris has put him pretty close to out, and now that he is attacked on both sides, just so you know, Emin Kui is going to default, or is going to turn to a full defense action. So if you let him go first, you would have got a destiny point for nothing. Ha 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 ha! Snidely Whiplash strikes again. Yeah, he's going to do a full defense because he's getting attacked by two sides.
Okay. Full defense. What does that add to his?
That lets him make a fighting roll, and then add his shield's defense bonus at the end, and that will become his combat defense.
Right. Okay. gonna try. I'll give him one good hit, or try to get one good hit on in this stance.
So, doing an aim and then an attack.
Aim and then an attack.
All right. Are you going to do a reckless attack or not?
No.
He is fighting defensively. He can't attack this round.
But somebody else can.
Who was left to attack you this round?
Guy who was just fighting my brother Luke.
Who just used his action to knock out your brother Luke?
Ah. So you're telling me, with a quick glance around, there's nobody around to take advantage.
I'm just saying, that's what's left.
You're not gonna have King Robert come swooping in here.
Baby, do you really think 5 points of combat defense is going to help you if King Robert attacks you?
No.
Like, oh, good, he got one less degree of success. I take 40 points instead of 50.
Oh, ow. Alright, I'll do reckless. So 3
All right.
for fighting, 1 for bonus die for long blades, 1 for my expertise, 1 for... Oh, wait.
I think you should all gang up on Robert.
Right. 1 for reckless.
And you
So
get to
I'm gonna
keep
be rolling.
fighting plus 2 dice. 1 for expertise and 1 for reckless. So should be a pretty good handful of dice.
I feel like I'm missing one. Alright, 3 for fighting, 1 for my bonus die and long blades, 1 for my expertise, and then 1 for the all out.
Yep, reckless. So 6
Right.
dice.
6 dice, and I'm gonna keep 5.
Correct.
That is mediocre. Wait a minute. 10, 16, 19.
That is not going to be enough, as he is carefully backpedaling, keeping both of you in his front arc, hunkering behind his shield, keeping you at range with feints and parries and stuff. And for simple meta plot reasons, we will say that the same is true of Oris's attack. So that will do it for the round. So we are up with the start of a new round. Adam, who would you like to help this round? Bela or Reyna?
Let's go with Reyna.
Alrighty, talking her up against Sir Emin Kui.
Wait.
So, see, even outnumbered, my sisters hold their own. Oh, I'm dropping dice now.
Wait.
That is
We're not outnumbered.
14.
Yeah, I know. I was skillets like it's fine. You guys have the
I
number
thought they were.
advantage, but no, they are outnumbering their opponents.
Yeah.
So
Currently
did
it's
you want
3 on 2.
Did you want to modify the quip?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, no problem. I mean,
Good.
you could just be smug about Greysteel falling like you predicted last round, because that is a thing that happened.
Definitely. I'll do that.
So, all right. So just kind of a behold, even the high towers can fall. It's fine. And it's still, talking up your sis. So what was your total on the persuasion roll?
It was 14. It wasn't very good.
Okay. He has a 13 with a 4-5-4. His
Okay.
attractive is not helping him if he doesn't roll ones. So instead he's just getting like average dice and not getting that reroll. So you actually win again, and that will be a bonus die for Reyna, who continues to hammer. Sir Emin Kui is currently still in his full defense, so you'll be facing his increased combat defense. But you are up next. So your options this round, you can attack recklessly again, or you can revert to a normal attack, which would mean you basically suffered no downside from the reckless attack, because you're getting your full combat defense back because you're acting next.
Right.
Because of kind of how we're doing initiative. So it's your call. You could try reckless attack and hope for a little bit better die roll, because he's looking pretty battered.
Okay, I'll do it. Reckless attack again.
Alrighty, reckless attack.
6. Plus an extra bonus die. So I'm rolling 7.
Sounds right. 7, keep 5, I believe.
All right. Okay. And 22.
There we go. That is enough to hit, but it's not going to be enough to get through his armor.
God dang it.
He's armor value 10, and you're not rocking a super high damage value. So yeah, not enough for the 3rd extra degree that it would take. If you spend, what's your dropped die?
A 2.
Yeah, if it was a 3, you could get that next degree of success with the destiny point. But yeah, as it is, it seems this finely crafted reach armor is doing its work.
Well, then I'll let Oris batter the shit out of him.
You want me to go ahead and roll for it and see if
Yeah.
Oris steals the glory? All right.
He's
So
got
Oris
the
is
strength to push through that armor. I just don't.
Oris is roll 5, keep 5, and
He's a big, strong
gets-
man.
Oh, he's a
he
big,
gets to
strong
re-roll
man.
1 from Blood of the Andals.
He's in that giant sword.
12, 22. That's a 26. He has 1 injury, so that's a 25. He has a base damage value of 11 with the greatsword. So, yeah, that's 22 points damage.
There.
Yeah.
What I say?
There's a reason I've been using Oris in the abstract in this fight. And there's a reason Oris was very excited to get his paws on a greatsword. A greatsword does athletics plus 3, which is 8, but a greatsword also has the powerful trait, which lets him lets him add his strength specialty dice as straight +1 damage. So the castle forged greatsword that is a gift from House Tyrell gives him a +1 to hit and a base damage of yes. So
And you just totally gave away who got it for him.
you guys were, yeah, you already kind of guessed. So, but yeah, so I've been using Oris in the abstract this fight for a reason, is because
That's my lovely giant.
he's kind of a guided missile with his fighting score
Right,
and
new
all
strategy:
that stuff.
protect Oris at all costs.
I just used him. You know.
So yeah, you create the opening. You're able to batter at Sir Emmon's shield and kind of pull his defense off to one side, and then you grind your shield forward, face shield against the face of his shield, and then you just kind of wrench it to one side with like a lunge and a shove, and then Oris comes in and just smashes him with this overland blow, like a perfect strike with his weight and mass behind it, and precision hits him right on the armor where it's not going to kill him, and just the blow just crumples Emin Quee's knees, and he falls to the ground like a puppet with cut strings.
Oh, ow. As they say in Nightmare, ooh, nasty.
So that does it for Raina's action. So Bela, you are currently unengaged, and so is Sir Parman Crane. Would you like to charge him?
Yes.
Finish him off.
Or would you like a destiny point and let him attack next, but you're not sure against whom?
No, I'm gonna finish this.
Okay.
And if it's a charge, then it's a charge. Okay.
I know you like your charges.
Let's see. This time I have a 15 on the charge.
Okay. He is combat defense 6. You got any shenanigans for a +1? Like, did you remember the spear?
I have
Yada yada yada.
I have a fatigue point, so that offsets the
Yeah,
plus
it's
one
already-
spear. I could use a
Okay.
destiny point if it ends up mattering.
You're 1 point away from the next degree, but let's math it out first.
So on the
'cause
charge,
right
on base
now-
damage 8.
Right. So right now you're hitting him for 16.
That
I
should
don't
do
think-
it.
Yeah, I don't think you're actually going to need the. And these guys are all armor value 10. Like, that's a big hurdle for a lot of
And I'm
characters.
Pierce
But at 6
1.
points.
So
Yeah, he's already pretty beat up. Yeah, so 7 points. Yeah, I don't think you're actually going to need the last one. So
okay,
7.
good.
Yep, it's going to get through. You take him out. Because your brother did leave him pretty beat up.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys once again find yourselves in this smaller little retinue as the team keeps on shrinking. You find yourselves once again in temporarily the eye of the storm. There are a couple of good-sized teams that are still, out there clashing and fighting. You still hear Robert whooping. You can still see a flaming sword flailing in the distance. Bless you. But the fight is still a going. But you guys have a round. So let's have everybody do a catch your breath. And that's going to be a round for Luke to get to the sidelines. And let's let Luke start doing some persuade rolls also, if he would like. So one of you pick a sister, and every round you'll get to kind of talk them up so that you guys can continue to play from the sidelines. I think Adam is still going to be a little better at it than Luke, but you can still give it a go. You can just say mean things to Marcella the whole time, or whatever.
You're
Just
dumb. You're a little kid.
stupid. Your mom's
This is a
mean.
dumb name day.
Your tournament sucks. You're not even fighting in your tournament.
Yeah, what? Yeah. I'm sure Joffrey, you'll fight in yours, right? Next year, right?
Start hanging him up. Ladies, both make some catch a breath rolls. Get back a few health points as you survey the field and just kind of, woof, I'm tired. That's a lot of notches on this.
So if
Yeah.
I roll an 11, that means I get 3 hit points back.
Correct.
Mhm.
1 for just succeeding, 1 for difficulty 5, 1 for difficulty 10. Hey, chat, give me a 1 or a 2, chat, and we're going to see which team will attack our
Don't betray us.
young group of House Nymerian
Oh,
next.
betray.
Yeah, I rolled a 12, so I also get 3 back. And
Yep, sounds right.
Bela's count of knockouts is to 6 so far
Nice!
in this melee.
Yeah, she's been like,
Ugh.
I'm not keeping track of individual kills. I'm keeping track of NPCs that are out. So you guys
Yeah.
need to be tracking your own just kind of bragging rights later.
Oh gosh, I didn't write any of these down. Especially from the ones from last session.
Okay, so
Wow, it's on YouTube.
Naked Body has given us a 1. So you guys,
Oh, I get it.
yeah, you guys are beset suddenly by a dashing figure and a black cloak adorned with purple-white bolts of lightning by the bastard Walder Rivers, who seems to be having himself a championship day, and by Sir Brendan Blackwood, Knight of the Riverlands.
Just those 2?
Just those 3, yes. Beric Dondarrion, Brendan Blackwood,
Oh.
and the bastard Walder Rivers.
Miss
Oh, it's all 3
Dondarrion.
of them. Derek,
Yes, Dondarrion was the dashing figure in the cloak with the lightning and such.
Ah,
Oh, okay.
And feel free to kill him. He's got extra lives.
Beric Dondarrion is, as the Lord of House Dondarrion, is angling towards the Lady Reyna, the highest status member of your crew. The other 2 still look like they could go either way.
Like,
But
Reyna,
as-
seduce him.
what?
It's a quick way to seduce him.
He is betrothed to a lady of House Dane, so that would be exceedingly poor form.
Oh, we did hear already what happens in a tournament. It stays in a tournament. Adam says that.
Yes.
Said it, so.
Oh yeah, because
So-
Adam says something, it must be true.
Right.
So
I
who
could have
wants?
used that.
Let's let Adam choose who to bolster. Which sister do you want to help out this round, Adam?
Let's help out. Yeah, I think if Dundarian's going for Reyna, she's going to need the help.
Okay, then. That leaves Bela picked last, just like in Dodgeball. So, Luke, you'll be helping out Bela. Actually, I would totally have picked Bela before Reyna in Dodgeball, unless I was scared of Reyna, and I probably would have been. Let's roll, gentlemen, to assist your sisters. So let's see. Against Lord Barrick, who do we have from the Stormlands? Nearby. Sir Orton Lugas will be who you are rolling against, Ash. He will
Okay.
be making quips
BFF.
on behalf of his fellow Stormlander. And we don't know who Bela is going to fight yet. It's either way, it's a Riverlander, though. So it's Blackwood or Bastard Walder Rivers. You're going to be competing against the Blackfish.
Yeah, well,
You want to swap?
no, I'll do it. Can I seduce or intimidate him? I guess no one. Well, maybe one, but not intimidate.
Don't intimidate him. He's nice.
Yeah, I was gonna intimidate whoever, but I don't think he's gonna get intimidated by anything.
You can try seducing him. It might work.
Well, that's plan B. But it's too public here, so. Yeah, I'll
So-
be back and kind of say to him, at the rate she's going, she'll have your two boys knocked out in no time.
He will scowl a bit, say, the Bastard Walder is no boy of mine. Let's see how the other River Knight goes, though.
He gives him a nod, kind of along the lines of, yeah, understandable. Oh, such a bad roll. Well, that's an average roll, I guess.
What are we looking at?
I've got 4, and that is going to be a total of 12. I got a 6, 5, and 2 1s. So, no, sorry, 13.
Okay, he has a 12, so you have saved a reroll. He rolled a little bit above average for his dice, but yeah, so you have succeeded on that. So Bela, that'll be a bonus die for you. Let's go ahead and do Ash's roll against Orton Lugas, though. Before let's do the pre-round stuff. So Orton,
I forgot. I get 2 to that result, but that won't change anything. So,
yeah, it's not going to be enough for another degree, I'm afraid.
yeah, fair enough. I'll remember for next time.
By the way, I don't know if we've been missing this, but like Adam has attractive as well.
Yeah, that's re-rolling ones.
Right. Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, it's one that helps out.
Yeah. I'd forgotten what it does. Well, it seems like my sister wants to take on the entire half the Stormlands single-handedly. And that is 15. Seems to be about my average now.
He got an 18,
Fuck.
so
Oh.
he will answer with a wry smile and go, "Oh, perhaps the reputation of Dornish women is not terribly exaggerated then," and give you a playful wink that takes the sting out. But his sister's spirited giggle perhaps puts the sting back in. Like she can talk, but you know. So yeah, he beats you on that one.
Damn.
All right then.
Who's he giving a bonus dice to?
But it's gonna be Beric Dondarrion, who
Because he needed a bonus die.
who he was
I'm
defending.
sorry. I'm sorry, Felicia.
Yeah, that guy's nothing but hacks.
So actually, let's go ahead to the winner of that bonus die off this time, Beric Dondarrion. He gives you a jaunty salute. He goes, I'm sorry, I had hoped not to meet you on the field this day, my lady, but I will not dishonor you by holding back. And he kind of wades in while still exchanging pleasantries. That is a 17.
Hey. Combat
2
defense,
degrees. Yep. That's going to be 8 points of damage, which I believe your armor will help.
Right? It mitigates all of it.
All right, then you're able to hold up your defenses, and you get a little bit battered, but you're fine. So let's go ahead and have you counterattack.
Yes. Is that a thing?
No.
No, just attack back.
It's not a Alright. I will return the courtesies and
Get him!
do the usual thing. Alright, with my sword. So fighting, longsword, expertise. Aim?
Okay. How are you returning the courtesies?
Oh no, I just meant by not holding back.
Okay.
Because I won't hold back either.
I didn't know if you were talking or like what's going on?
I will give it my all as well. Yeah, it's not getting anywhere. 17.
Okay. That is 3 degrees of success. What is your damage level? Is it a 3 or a 4?
Oh, I have the +1, so it's 4.
Okay, so 2 points will get through. Okay. He gets bashed a bit in his already kind of battered armor. Because these guys all are looking a little beat up. They've been through a melee also. And then let's jump over to Bela. Are you attacking Brendan Blackwood or the bastard Walder Rivers?
I'm gonna go for the not the bastard.
Okay.
Just because higher social status, right?
Sure.
Let our bastard deal with their bastard.
Okay. All right. So Brendan Blackwood is using a battle axe and a shield, and also wearing the traditional kind of full plate.
Interesting choice. Full plate. Okay. Do I have to charge? Am I there? Can I aim?
We'll say they were kind of advancing for the round. You can aim.
Okay, I will choose to aim. So a little bit of flourish, but it's, nothing going too full out. So it's actually an even 20.
All right. He's combat defense 6. So we had 6, 11, 16. Anything you can do for a +1? Because it would get you another degree of success. I like play.
I do have a destiny point.
It's your call if you want to use it or not, but you are just 1 point away from another degree. I like players to make informed decisions.
Yeah, let's do it. I will spend it.
All
Include
right.
your bonus dice, right, for me?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Okay.
So, what is your damage value?
6.
Not on the charge, etc.
Yeah.
So,
normally it's 6.
all right, that is going to be 24 points of damage then.
Nice.
So 14 will get through.
Don't forget the pierce 1.
Right, 15 will get through. Yeah, that's a couple of injuries. The flurry attacks continue to fall in your favor, and the passionate aggression of Dorn continues to overwhelm your opponents. He is up next, however, to return it.
Yeah.
And he's kind of grunting and cursing under his breath. And he is going to attack aggressively because
Oh no.
he's bleeding a little bit after all that. He knows he's going to drop pretty soon. So yeah, this is... Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
This could be painful.
Yeah. Yeah, it could. He is keeping lots of numbers with lots of pips on him. That's a 32.
What?
So
Holy shnikes!
now the good news is you just hit him for a couple of injuries. So that's gonna
Oh,
knock it down
that's on the dice.
to a
Still.
yeah. So that's gonna knock it down to a 29 after injuries.
Does he keep
Um,
6 dice?
When he attacks aggressively, yes.
Wow. Okay.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So he kept a string of 6s and 5s and a 4, and
You said
yeah,
drop
it
down
was,
to 29?
yeah, 29 after injuries. So ways you can potentially mitigate stuff. You can take a fatigue to
Yeah.
ignore your armor penalty, so that'll
Right.
increase your defense, which normally is good for a degree. Destiny point to drop, he would be losing a 4 if you've got a destiny point to make him drop a die. So it's, yeah.
Alright, so I fatigued to bring my defense up to a 12. So that's
Okay.
4 degrees of success. And then... Oof. I only have 2 destiny points left, but I think this might be a good time to reduce a significant amount of damage.
Right?
So gonna drop the 4.
Yeah.
All right, let me double check the math here. So that's a 28. Injuries makes it a 25. So he's got a 25.
It's by 12.
So 12, 17, 22, 3 degrees of success.
Yeah.
That's going to be 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage.
Yep.
Okay, so my armor's 8, so I take 4.
So it's a pretty solid shot. But luckily he isn't using the axe in both hands, that sort of thing. He's still, using the shield and stuff. But yeah, it's a pretty aggressive flurry of attacks. He's determined to kind of take you with him, type of thing. And that leaves the bastards. We're just gonna say that Oris does a big chunk of damage to Walter Rivers, but is not going to one-shot him. It's going to make it a 2-shot, basically. So, that makes it top of the next round. So, get your quips ready, gentlemen. So, Luke, Adam, it's equipping time. Check your character sheet for your equipment.
Ouch.
I
Get
won't
out.
equip. I will de-equip. Higher grade equips.
So, who wants to quip for which sister?
Let's switch around. I'll go with Bela this time.
Alrighty. So, talking shit against the Blackfish about how your Bela's beating up Sir Brendan Blackwood.
Yeah. I hope we can still be friends after my sister kicked all the Riverlanders out of this.
He gives a non-committal shrug. You already did a number on some Vale Knights. He's been serving in the Vale for like 25 years-ish, so like whatever. He doesn't seem particularly emotionally, invested in defending the Blackwoods. What's your persuade roll coming up to?
No, he wouldn't play with me.
He's just also a gruff and dour old man,
Right. That was a rubbish roll. That was 12.
He got a 16, a very good roll for his
I suppose that
3 dice.
that checks out for the response.
Yeah. So, all right. The Blackwood gets a die from the Blackfish. And that leaves Luke trying to talk up Reyna against Beric Dondarrion, the Lightning
Certainly.
Lord.
And I think 1 second. I normally have my mic set to push to talk. I forgot I set it
No
to
problem.
voice activated last week when I was GMing. The freedom hands up. And it's been that way the whole time, and I definitely apologize. That explains a lot. So, against Dondarrion, you gave me the hard one, didn't you, Adam?
I don't do that with siblings.
Heyo!
Oh,
Haha, Valyrian
I mean, that's
jokes.
how our family got here, so...
Well, I believe you said in the chat the other day, you're lost. And I wasn't sure if you meant Luke or if you meant our sisters.
Who am I arguing against? Who's been supporting this side before Adam switched sides?
Stormlanders that are within earshot are Marita Lugas and Orton Lugas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll go for Orton. Okay. Dondarrion has given all he's got, but they're still in there. I suspect they're going to win this. Won't that be a sight? 2 women winning the melee?
All right, roll your persuasion.
I guess I could intimidate him, but I'm not trying to, so... Ooh, it's not good. It is 10.
Oh no, that is an 18. So, so your opponent gets.
What does he say? Not easy, is it?
It would seem your predictions are a bit premature. As Beric Dondarrion seizes the initiative and goes on to the aggressive against Reyna.
Well, that's a fair point.
Oh, this is not
I'm
going
gonna
well.
go full defense.
Okay, you're going to abort to a parry. So you're going to make a fighting roll with your appropriate specialty in play.
Okay.
And then at the end of the roll, you do get to add the defense bonus from your shield as a flat bonus to this. For the record, he is now rolling 8 dice against you with those bonuses. So it's 2 bonus dice, it adds up.
Well, that scares me because I have a total of 22 on this roll.
Great. So you've got a defensive 22 until your next action. 20. That is a 23 to hit. The good news is that's just a 23. So there's not going to be any extra degrees of success. So he hits you for 4 damage, which your armor will absorb.
All right, that paid off.
But yeah, he is just advancing, cutting as like at each step as he steps at you, he's hacking away at your sword with practiced strikes, but perhaps not the heaviest blade on the field today. And then let's jump over to your other opponent that also received a bonus die, Brendan Blackwood, facing off against Bela, because Reyna's action has already been the full defense. Looks like Blackwood is taking the initiative from you. He's not going to continue to aggressively attack, however. After having rocked you back on your heels and scored some good hits, he falls back to a more kind of conservative fighting style, which is significantly less. Total comes to... well, significantly less is still not bad. That's a 20.
Okay. That. Shoot. Well, I'm at 9, so it beats me by 11.
So that'll be 3 degrees. That would be 12 points.
Then I'm gonna have to take an injury here.
Okay.
It was either that or using a destiny point.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's getting pretty tapped out on health points and resources and stuff. It's been a long day for you guys. Lots of brawling, fighting, taking damage. So yeah, you're definitely getting winded. But yeah. But Bela does get to return the attack. Go, Bela's up.
So I'm going to aim and fight. Let's see. Taking into account my negatives, I have a 19.
Okay, that is a pretty palpable hit. 6, 11, 16, 3 degrees of success. Is what, 18?
Yep. Here's
So,
1.
yep, 9 will get through. That is a couple of solid injuries. So you definitely got the better of that exchange, but you're definitely still feeling it. That's a heavy axe that he's swinging around. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong guy. That was Blackwood. That will take him out because he already had some injuries.
Okay, good.
Ah!
I thought he was
Right.
really low at that
Yeah,
point.
my bad. I was just looking at the wrong thing. So yeah, that'll take care of him. I probably should have had him attack aggressively again, but it's fine.
So who was that? I'm sorry.
That was Sir Brendan Blackwood of the Riverlands.
Yeah.
Okay. And then let's just say that Oris finishes up the Bastard Walder Rivers. It took 2 hits because the Bastard Walder was having a good day. That brings us to a fresh round. At the edges of your vision, in the chaos of the battle, you see the Ironwood boys getting charged by a giant antlered bear wielding a warhammer and a lunatic with a flaming sword.
Boy, better them than us.
And that looks like just about all that's left on the field. So things are getting really thin
Oh,
and really dangerous.
oh no.
But
Yeah.
hey,
At least you didn't have to fight Sir Lynn.
You need to attack Robert and Thoros. We have to keep the Ironwoods, I think.
so Adam, who are you supporting this round? Which sister?
Right. Robert, do you want to keep like switching between them, or should we just pick
I have one good insult for the phrase, but there's a phrase left, right?
Yep, he is down. All that's left is Beric Dondarrion gallantly standing alone against both of your sisters and your half-giant squire.
I will speak up, Reyna.
I'll go with Bela then.
All right.
Dondarrion struck pretty hard, but they say lightning never strikes twice.
Oh, nice.
We'll say
There you
one of you will quip against Marita Lugas, the other one against Orton Lugas, because we do have 2 Stormlanders nearby.
Okay.
You
So-
want your friend Orton?
Yeah. I
So
suppose we are.
who wants? Okay. So that was your quip, Robert. So
Yep.
let's roll for Marita. So what do we got for your quip total?
13.
She has a 16. So Uh, let's see. She will just kind of quirk an eyebrow and go, "Well, it would seem that some lightning does strike more than once." And look at your sister hunkered down behind her shield, with chips of it going flying and the sigil getting battered and scraped. And that
For the
leaves,
record, Luke has no problem if a woman comes in on top.
just gonna casually mention that in a footnote of your diary.
It's just like a little asterisk and then
So Adam talking up Bela.
Oof. Who's Bela fighting right now?
No one.
Beric Dondarrion's the only one that's still kind of there. So yeah, they're all about to fight the last bastion of the Stormlands.
Well, I reckon Bela's about to achieve her 8th knockout of the melee. Not bad going for the puny Dornish woman that people keep calling her.
Alrighty.
Come on, roll back up those words.
Yeah.
I'm trying. So that's 18.
Nice. He had a 15.
Finally a good roll.
not bad.
Orton will just kind of go, well, Stormlanders have faced long odds against the Dornish before. We'll see. Perhaps not the most ringing endorsement, but it is a 3-on-1 fight, so it's kind of hard to muster up too much confidence, perhaps. So let's go with Bela, taking the initiative here. Since you got talked up and you're unengaged, you're kind of free to engage as you'd like. So, you could charge Dondarrion if you'd like. I know you like those.
I do like the charge. I also like the reckless attack, but if I'm at the distance that I would need to charge, I will do the charge.
It's your call. You can charge or you can close an attack.
I have enough penalties right now. I'm a little worried I may not get too many degrees of success with just a charge. So I'll close in reckless.
Alrighty.
All right.
Is there any sort of nightly announcing your presence
Yeah.
beforehand, or are you being a Dornish backstabber?
No. I will announce my presence.
So what are you hollering? Like, is it a Dondarrion or a Wyvern's Rest or a, what do we got?
Yeah, so Dondarrion, face me. I'll take you down.
All right.
Take him down to Flea Bottom Town.
This is a mixture of like high and low rolls.
Oh,
on the
dang.
dice. It's still a decent result though. So I have 20.
Nice. He is combat defense 6, so you're just shy of another degree of success. But you still got 6, 11, 16, 3 degrees of success. Your damage is 6,
yeah.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 18. That's going to be 9 getting through. If you want the extra degree, you will take him out. If not, it's going to be all of his injuries,
So
and he's got
the
a little
next-
health left.
The next
your call.
3 dice that I have available to Destiny point up, they're all ones.
You are 1 point away.
1 point.
So it's your. Now that said, there are 2 other people fighting him, so it just comes down to: does
Yeah.
Bela want to take the victory, or does she want to let Reyna?
Yeah, but
hopefully
this isn't the end of the fight. It's
or-
not like this happens and then we're done. I only have the 1 Destiny point left for the battle.
I've got a temporary Destiny point kicking about if I'm allowed to give it away.
I'd say not for this, because it's not terribly dramatic. You've still got 2 attacks coming this round. You know what I mean? It's like it's maybe not a
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah,
So
Bailey's not quite that selfish, so
Sure.
she's giving it her all. But if it's not quite enough, She knows she needs to save a little bit of strength for the rest of the fight.
Alrighty. Dondarian is going to spin and use some footwork, some shield work, and a few desperate parries to just barely avoid the worst of that. But he's just going to be like, all the Dornish ladies that pile atop me. I won't tell my wife if you shan't. And he will try to attack Reyna, who is still pressing him from the other flank.
All the Dornish ladies, all the Dornish ladies, all the Dornish ladies. To put your swords up.
That is not a stellar roll this time for the Lightning Lord. And with his newfound injuries that Bela politely delivered to him, that
I
is
think
a...
you'll find this is yours.
Yes, you misplaced these, my lord. That's a 14 against your combat defense, Reyna, which I believe you... 10, so it's just 1 degree. Your armor should absorb it. You are up. All that remains currently before you is Lord Beric Dondarrion, who is beset on all sides from Dornish women.
And
Just
dwarves.
like that
Well, in
dream.
like a direct, like opposite style, like his Bela's going all out and bashing, just stabbing so hard and whirling, and I'm a swordswoman, so and I'm a little more, I'm not as enthusiastic about it as she is, so I'm more calculating, and so you can see the differences because we're right there against the same guy. So I will nod at Bela and then try to very surgically stab rather than slash. Well,
Alrighty.
so 3, 4, 5.
Do you want to do a reckless attack? Like go all out on the offensive? Because he is your last opponent and he just attacked you.
Crush him, crush him.
All right.
Going not reckless.
I get that from your fluff. I just wanted to point out that you could for an extra kept eye.
And I understand that.
All right. So, sling them bones. Toss in an aim for your meticulous style. I'm sure that's a really bad roll. It's hard to tell, though. Felicia's got that poker face
I've
going.
got such a poker face. 21.
Okay, so that's 6, 11, 16, 21. 4 degrees of success. 4 times your damage will be 16. 6 points get through, and that will, in fact, finish him off. Because he was down to basically his last thing. Oris
Beat
will...
Beric Dondarrion.
So Dondarrion falls before the twin assault of the ladies of House Nymerian. And Oris is currently leaning on his blade, standing over the bastard Walder Rivers, catching his breath, and a flaming sword comes charging at him atop a red-robed priest, and Oris curses and spins and parries and backpedals, and then the two of them fall at each other like snarling dogs. Because here's the thing, they both have the berserker trait. So anytime that they take an injury, you get to make a free attack. So whatever happens with these two is going to be over very quickly.
Wow.
So what I'm going to do is Oris takes an injury and Thoros of Mir is
We're
almost
stuck in
killed.
an infinite loop.
Well, not even an infinite one, because Oris has quite a bit higher armor and damage. So he kind of gets blindsided by this burning sword, and like one good hit lands, and then Oris just fucking chops him down. And very kind of symbolically and thematically, the flames on the sword flicker and die just after it falls into the mud and trampled grass and stuff of the field, as Oris like gets a hit, counters, and smashes him into the ground.
Ooh.
And then you guys hear this rising crescendo of
Oh
as
shit!
Robert Baratheon comes charging at you with these gilded antlers rising from the helm of this full like plate style helm, and he's this huge burly dude with this huge burly hammer, um, and he comes barreling down at the three of you, and we're gonna cut to our mid-session break, and we'll come back in about 10 minutes, everybody.
You're such an asshole.
I was going to say that.
Exciting. Alright, so break. We'll be back.
Welcome back, everybody. Our break was actually totally casual, and everybody was completely relaxed, and we weren't at all worried about the stats of the tremendous combat monster that the team now faces off against, King Robert Baratheon, the legendary victor of 2 battles in one day, the man whose hammer laid low the last dragon and led to the renaming of the Ruby Ford of the Trident River. The man who brought an end to the Targaryen dynasty, uh, hammer in hand, and horns atop his helmet. The man that is the, Lord of the Andals, the Rhoynar and the First Men, protector of the realm, etc., etc., etc. That is now finding himself facing some bastard squire with no name and a couple of Dornish dragon fuckers. Women, no less.
Oh.
So, the crowd is roaring. Because they were just going, what the hell is going on? This is so crazy. He is red in the face. You can see he lifted his visor at some point during the fight. And his face is very red, and he's like bellowing laughter and also just kind of like wheezing, though, because it's late in a fight. He has not been physically active in a long time.
Has he actually taken any damage?
Yeah, maybe. It's kind of hard to tell with tourney damage type of stuff. He's not bleeding or anything, and it certainly doesn't look like anyone has survived in game terms a second attack, because that's just kind of how he rolls. He's basically a total unit. You might not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like, ladies. So, so everyone gets a take a breather action, which even Robert Baratheon is using. He slams the hammer down into the ground and like shakes the earth a little bit, and he leans against it, catching his breath and going, a couple of Dornish women. It's not how I thought this melee would end, but good for my daughter. See strong women fight. And he's just kind of panting and wheezing and, catching his breath a little bit. Who is saying stuff back? What we got going on? It's a lull in the fight as people are catching their breath.
Your Grace, it's an honor to face you today.
Honor my ass. It's a melee, lass. No need for fancy talk.
All right, well then I'll start twirling the spear, doing some flourishes to be entertaining and to, I don't know, maybe make him dizzy, maybe.
Maybe.
And it's also what kind of helps you kind of center yourself. Your weapon flourishes. Oris is looking wide-eyed and remember, his helmet hasn't even got a visor. It's a closed faceplate, simpler design, but you can still kind of see the whites of his eyes at you two, just going what do I do? He's kind of hesitantly lifting his sword. Do I attack the fucking kid? So he's just kind of standing there and looking at Rhaena in particular, because Bela's seems like she's winding up for something, but Rhaena, he's looking at Rhaena, just going what do I do? What answer has Rhaena got for King Robert or for young Oris?
If Rhaena doesn't answer Oris, oh sorry.
And I smile real big at him, and I said, "Your Grace, would you like to stop for a drink?"
Hells, why not? So everybody gets another take a breather action.
Okay.
He was, and the king hollers out, Tyrek, Lancel, get your blonde asses out here with some wine. And everybody, like, there's a nervous chuckle, like through the crowd, like, is this what? And Lancel and Tyrek, who have been waiting hand and foot on Cersei and Myrcella and Joffrey, like look to the queen, like, what are we doing? And Joffrey goes, they're pouring us wine. They can't just. This isn't how melees work, mother. And he slaps his, and but Barristan Selmy sidesteps from like the gap in the railing that he's been kind of holding, and he turns and glances, and the boys fucking run. Like, oh shit, we got a quirked eyebrow from Barristan Selmy means we're not doing our duty, and oh shit, Cersei, for her part, is just sitting there with her handkerchief in knots, like white knuckled around this thing. Like, just everything Robert is doing is dishonoring the throne today. She's furious with her husband right now. She's not even trying to like hide it, but it's very clear, especially like to Adam and Luke, who are right there. But yeah, it's like there's just a second as people, squires scurry to bring some wine. Lancel almost trips as he goes running back to fetch goblets. And he tries to carry 3 goblets out at once, and he almost trips on the railing. King Robert just snatches the wine, the whole like flagon pitcher thing from Tyrek, and and gives it a chug right there in the field.
Okay.
Amazing.
And you guys hear like some high-pitched, small folk shrill voice with, "It's the trident all over again! Drown him in wine!" And stuff like that. And you hear people like, "Oh, they are dragons, aren't they? Oh, it's Nymerians. They're all Nymerians. Nymerians and Baratheons." And like the crowd is starting to murmur, and like people are starting to look even more nervous about what's going on, as they kind of remember, like, hey, wait a fucking second. Like, maybe this isn't just the king against a couple of girls. Like, whoa, this is maybe kind of tense, y'all. Like, as more people kind of remember the lineages involved. So there's some kind of nervous laughter and some murmurs through the crowd. How's Adam responding to some of that laughter and murmurs and catcalling? Who's Adam talking with here in the stands?
Well, I mean, like, I was going to say if Reyna like didn't answer like Oris's visible confusion, I was going to answer it. But if that's not an option,
Oris looks at Lancel Lannister for a moment, who he beat in the joust, and then he just kind of shrugs and takes a goblet, and he has to kind of fumble with his helmet for a second, but he's not going to turn down a drink. So Oris is like, but he's still kind of looking nervously from King Robert over towards like Bela and Reyna. Bela, do you let one of the blonde-haired Lannister squires approach?
Yeah, I will stop the flourish once it's been agreed to for the wine.
Yeah. Strike a pose at the end, and everyone oohs and ahs. But yeah, you're like, sure, let's get a drink.
Why not?
And I make a point of toasting the king before I take my delicate sip.
He does not seem to notice. He's busy chugging from his pitcher. He goes, melees are thirstier work than I remember. You wouldn't fucking know. And he gives Tyrek a little shove with the pitcher and like sends the boys stumbling away.
I will I just smile. I am really terrified of this. and struggling really hard because I don't want to show any of that weakness. So I don't want to openly antagonize the king, but I also don't want to kiss his ass. So we're gonna have to fucking do this.
All right.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
well,
fight. Let's
yeah.
fight.
I mean, like, in world, not fighting the king under these circumstances would be considered rude.
Yeah, it would be a big insult to him, and he
I
would
mean-
be so disappointed.
Yeah.
In everything.
Including like pulling your blows against him and stuff. Like, basically, if you treat him like he can't handle it, it's an insult.
Yeah, well, he can handle it, and I totally know that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just more for Oris, who's not sure what to do.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, I'm going to trash talk at Joffrey because he's a little
Sure.
he's a little turd.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I said, Joffrey was just whining like, "This isn't how melees work." So yeah, that could be your entrance.
Yeah. Oh, right. Hold on. Let me get my shit together. I need to make this a
Yeah,
good one.
just say like, "Melees work however the king says. Everything
Yeah,
works the way a king says. Kings could do
right,
whatever they
yeah.
want. Like that won't plant any bad seeds or anything."
And there's no consequences.
Yeah, he'll be
There's
fine.
no
Once you're king,
You
Yeah.
can kill as many women as you want if you're king. Just remind him of that sort of thing. It'll be cool.
Yeah, that's it. Totally
How
cool.
about no?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, when it was more when he was complaining about the wine, I had a response for that, but
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
It's fine.
yeah, so, but I'm sure Your Grace can go without wine for a few moments.
why would you lie to the kid that way?
But he doesn't count as a kid. He's a little shit.
It's the king's kid.
Damn it! Fucking re-rolled a 1 and it came up another 1.
That's
Right? Can I? You know what? Like,
you're looking at for a 16 right now.
yeah, I'm gonna need to spend a destiny point to get another dice involved.
Okay.
That was not good. So I'm gonna spend my last temporary destiny point.
It's funnier if you imagine Sam is from the show Quantum Leap. Sorry, Adam's from Quantum Leap, and he's making decisions based on that.
Right. Oof. Yeah. I might not be managing this. That's 11. Oh, 17. 17. Just
17.
only just.
An age he'll never turn.
Okay. But
Oh wait. All right. Okay. I thought you were talking to Adam. Talking about Adam rather than John.
no, it was Joffrey.
Yeah, Joffrey.
Here's the thing. Joffrey's going to spend functionally a destiny point and win because the royal boon from last session went to bastards. So
Oh,
Joffrey,
no, come on.
so Joffrey,
Oh, come on.
He's not a bastard.
He is. That I mean, it's like. Oh, but like.
so what we're gonna do?
Yeah, but who knows that? The kid
We're
doesn't.
just gonna
You let me
We're
spend
gonna-
that destiny point.
we're
Seven,
gonna
no.
we're gonna call it a wash. So no bonus either way. As Joffrey just goes, "No one asked you. You don't get to talk to me. You're not even a squire. You're nobody. They shouldn't be serving wine to your sisters instead of me." And then he just like turns away from you, because like, yeah.
Mate,
So
the,
that's
the,
it's,
the young prince protests too much, methinks.
Can I team up and help my brother out here with my action?
okay.
Maybe so, but I am a knight, and I want you to respect your father by silently watching his fight.
That rhymes.
Okay. Give me a roll.
Scathing but respectful. I like it.
Ooh, not bad. 16.
Okay. He got a 14. He is going to continue pouting and sulking, so it's hard to tell if the blow was well struck or not.
But he is being quiet, just like Luke
Yeah,
said.
so like that's a little bit better. Yeah, like it's technically a win. But just so you know, Queen Cersei just rolled a 21 on an awareness roll. So don't worry about it. I'm sure it's no big deal.
Oops.
But yeah, so sounds like she might have overheard some things.
You know,
It's
as long as
fine,
she's
it's
focused on me and not Adam, it's okay.
I
So
think
just put it
I
out.
think it might be me. I don't know.
So
Oh dear.
the wine break has come to an end. The Lannister squires are scurrying away from the king, who they squire to. And let's go ahead and roll initiative this time. So
Because you have no doubt you're gonna clean us up with the initiative roll. I see.
So ladies, remember that is a quickness roll.
Which is
So
agility,
it's,
quickness.
yeah,
Right?
it's agility with the quickness specialty. If you've got it, you roll it, you total it, and then you subtract your armor modifier.
Apparently, I'm going to watch things happen.
Remember who you're rolling against right now.
Have they gotten their catch your breath rolls from that?
Yeah,
Yeah, I took care of it.
yeah, me too.
Hope
In
that
fact,
everyone rolled during that, and yeah.
I no longer have any hit points down. I'm not down any hit points anymore.
Well, that's
Okay.
good.
13.
Okay, did you take off your armor penalty?
Ooh, 9.
Okay. Bela, what are you looking at?
A 3.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so he has a -3.
Oh.
Like I said, the good news is remember who you're rolling against. So you are certainly all up first. So it's going to be Reyna, then Bela, then Oris, then Robert. Starting the round as everybody re-prepares for combat. Helmets are put back on. The Lannisters clear. Sir Barristan steps back into the gap and kind of gives a nod, etc., etc. Let's do your pre-round bonus dice ritual here. Adam, who are you going to help? And Luke, who are you going to help?
Go Adam.
I picked Bela last time, so let's go with Reyna.
Okay. And this can just be yelling the house words. It can be, just whatever. Just, it can be a holler instead of a quip. This time, just it's nice and dramatic right now for the tense silence to be broken by whatever, but.
Yes, I will yell that.
Definitely, yeah. Show them how we do it in Wyvern's Rest.
I want to start
Okay.
applauding and try to get the crowd to applaud with me.
Yeah.
Can I turn the crowd with a persuasion?
Sure. Let me.
That's would it be insight? No. Yeah. It is persuasion, but I think
Yeah, what
specialties is
specialties have you got for persuasion?
I have seduce and intimidate.
I don't really think it's going to be either one of those.
You fuckers, you better cheer.
Yeah, I'm gonna murder all of you
Better.
if you don't cheer right now. So yeah, I think it's just gonna be normal persuade from you. And
But
yours is show 'em how to do it.
previously, and I'll remember I have a bonus to this.
So Joffrey's shrill voice will shriek out in response to Adam's encouragement of show them how we do it in Wyvern's Rest. You're not in Wyvern's Rest, and Wyvern's Rest belongs to my father anyway. He's the king. He can fight anyone, anywhere. And he's yeah. He's not talking.
Yes, you're right.
He's not talking
That's
to
nice.
you. He's just still shouting in response to what you said, right? Like,
Yeah,
but he's not
I'm
talking to you.
still just out of character mocking him because he's a dick.
So what was your persuasion roll, Ash?
Oh, right, I should actually do that. Oh no, that doesn't look very good. That's only 15.
He got a 14.
Yay!
So that's one bonus die. And then trying to get the crowd amped up. Yeah, like I said, it's just going to be basic persuasion. And just
It's my
tell me
good
what
here.
degrees of success you get, and we'll see what happens.
Oh my god, that
tell
is
me
such a
tell
bad
me
roll.
the total. Just give me the total.
Total is 9.
Yikes!
Yeah. We were looking for something a little
I
bit
got
more
3
difficult than
ones.
that's gonna happen sometimes.
Oh, well.
So nobody gets any bonuses from Luke, but I believe, was it Reyna you went for, right, Ash? All right, so Reyna, you're gonna have one bonus die from Adam's hollered encouragement on the sidelines.
Okay.
And you are up first. Close and attack or a charge?
Close and attack. My way of fighting is not going to work versus him. But I will try. And I will, give Oris a reassuring nod before I flip down my
Okay.
butt. And then I will roll.
Chat, give me a number between 1 and 3 when you get a chance. And Felicia, go ahead and roll.
All right. Fighting bonus. I got a bonus die, right?
Yep.
Aim. 7. 4. 8.
It's like we got
20.
some 2s.
All right, we're going to go with Qatar's number first. He got in the quickest with the 2.
12, 17, 8, 9, 20.
Got a 20?
Yes, sir.
All right. Damage value is 4, correct?
Correct.
Okay. He because he is outnumbered 3-1, he's actually going to open with a full defense.
Makes sense.
So that is a miss. His version of full defense is kind of jabbing with the hammer and just using his length of his arms and of the weapon and keeping people at bay, and then blocking with the hammer shaft, which is Valyrian steel. There's no other way it can be that thin and still be strong enough for that hammerhead and all that. So he's blocking and parrying with that, and then kind of threatening a swing that makes people backpedal a couple steps, that type of thing. But he absorbs your attacks between his armor and the haft of his axe. It does not get through. So Bela, you are up next.
Noticing the full defense, I'm not going to charge because taking less dice is not going to be useful at actually hitting. So I'll come up and make a basic attack.
Alrighty.
Well, I could only do a tiny bit better than this roll. I have a 20.
That is going to be just 1 degree of success. That's not going to get through. he rolled pretty well on his. For
Yeah,
the
full
record,
defense is gonna
on
be
his-
really tough.
Yeah, he's with his fighting, and it's also lots of 5s and 6s. So like he rolled pretty well. So that makes it Oris. He's got 5. Keep 5. He's gonna close and attack. Nothing fancy. 10, 18. That is not quite gonna do it. Robert also catches Oris's flurry of blows on the haft of the hammer. All right then. So far, the
son of a
king
bitch.
is showing the strategic side that won him the rebellion itself, not just roaring in and attacking anyone. So far, and that full defense is going to be in effect. So it is the top of the next round. Adam, who we talking up first?
Let. Oh, am I allowed to give a bonus to Oris?
You could.
Because I'm just thinking he's got a pretty good chance of actually getting a hit through.
Okay, it can be Oris. You're gonna have to
I feel
talk
kinda
to
bad about
somebody
that.
else then. So go ahead, just make a general comment about Oris's combat prowess or whatever, and I will decide because this would kind of be anybody that answers because it's the king. So
Okay,
you
I mean,
make the comment.
uh,
You make the comment, and I will decide who responds
Okay.
because it's gonna kind of based on just like what you say, and you
Sure.
know. So
Well, it's no small thing for someone to come into this tourney unknown and be facing the king in single combat.
well, not quite single combat, but yeah.
No,
Just
yeah,
facing the king is
yeah. Okay, well, we can stop it there. Can I swing my specialty dice for that?
For a convince, sure.
Cool.
Because
That
you are
makes-
pointing out that it's been kind of a dramatic arc.
Yeah. Oh, that is a massively rubbish roll, but I can reroll these. Oh, that's better. Right. Okay. So, still not brilliant, but it's 15. Oh, my rolls are rubbish just now. I've got a couple of really
All
good
right.
ones. No, they're not.
That is not a great roll.
Yeah.
Illyrio Mopatis raises his voice and goes, "No small thing indeed. Let us hope none of the wrong people have noticed." But his attempt at kind of talking down Oris, he had to keep 4 goddamn 2s. So,
Ooh.
yeah, like it was a pretty fucking awful roll. Like no one else is really gonna banter about some bastard, probably.
Yeah.
But you win, so Oris will have 1 bonus die this round. So Luke, who are you talking up? Which of your sisters?
Well, I think Bela's best chance to get through this armor, so I'm going to support her. I'm trying to get the crowd back up again. We'll do this again.
So you're just kind of
Chant her
trying to
name.
get people to like chant Bela.
Yes.
Alrighty, give me this just roll, see what you get.
13.
Anything you can do to make it a 14? Because a
I don't
14
have anything else, Dad.
14 is kind of the next tier of difficulty. It tends to go by. Okay,
I could cheat.
you could, but you wouldn't do very good at it now. The way you just
All right, I gave it away already.
so no destiny point up your sleeve.
No,
So,
I'm
get
out of
anything?
resources.
It sounds like maybe the small folk are a little nervous about starting a chant against their king. So
Yeah.
you're facing a pretty hard target number on that
Mhm,
sort of
mhm.
roll. But
Okay, fair.
Reyna, you are up next.
My roll's been kind of
I mean, it's a dice game. Good rolls
Yeah.
happen, bad rolls happen. It happens.
Huh.
King Robert's next action has come and gone, so his full defense is no longer in effect. If he wants to full defend again, it's going to have to be his action from this round.
Get him! Get him!
So right now, did he already do something this round? No, I'm the first. Okay, god dang it. Sorry.
Yeah, he was up last round, but he used, and we're just going to keep same initiatives because it's about what they should do. But yeah, he used last round's action to full defend.
Well, now that he's got the feel for us, he's not gonna do that again. I don't think. I'm gonna try again, but I'm gonna be down a die because Or wait, did I get the bonus die? No, it went to Oris.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. Fine. It's a good bet. Alright, roll 5d4. Oh! 21.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. One of my die made a run for it, and it was on my keyboard. So when I put it in the box, I rolled a 6.
Nice. Good call. He is going to full defend again as he looks for openings, and this is partially because your first rolls of the round have been pretty solid and putting him on the defensive. So that is not going to get through. He is going to take a half step back and continue blocking and parrying and letting his armor do some of the work for him. Bela, you are up next.
Okay, well, I'm up here, and he's full defensing, so I might as well reckless attack here.
Oh my.
Go
Yep.
for it.
Not as good of a roll as I would like to see here. So I'm keeping 2 2s in this roll.
Not great.
That
Yeah.
sucks.
Let's see. Yeah, it's only 15.
Oh.
That is not going to do it. Yeah, that's unfortunate when you got a big fat handful of dice and they don't play nice for you.
They don't do what you want
Threaten
them to
them.
do.
All right, who pissed off the 7?
I mean, that's,
Or the warrior, at least.
All right.
Not it,
Um,
but you know, I can't guarantee that.
Oris is also going to recklessly attack. Because he sees that you guys aren't holding back. You guys are attacking the king as hard as you can, and perhaps reassured by that, he is going to do the same.
Just so you guys know, if Oris knocks the king out, he's definitely going to take interest in Oris.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
The one thing Lady Olena said not to let happen.
So that is a 24, which is a hit with a second degree of success. So
Is that
22
using-
damage. Yeah,
Okay.
that's with your. So the king will soak. Armor eats that much of it. Unsurprisingly, perhaps, just for those playing from home, Robert Baratheon has an endurance of 6, which is a super fat stack of health points. And you guys just gave him a couple extra take a breather actions, which are also endurance rolls. So his health was a little high at the start of this, but Oris did just fucking hit him for 13 in one, like bypassing, not by that. That's what got past the armor.
That's my boy.
So King Robert is up next. He used his action for a full defense. He's going to spend a point of fatigue to take an additional minor action. That minor action will be a standard attack against Oris.
Oh no, this is where it goes back.
Here it goes.
So we got 10 keeping
I
6.
swear, if he breaks my precious Oris,
Oh.
He can make it out.
There will be thunder.
So he had to keep a couple of threes, which means his total is a 26, because he gets to keep a lot of dice. Against Oris's combat defense, that is 15, 4. That's going to be that. Armor value of 12. So it will get through.
Or takes a wound and berserks.
Oris takes 3 injuries
Oh,
to
God.
stay up, but that does proc Berserker. So Oris gets another attack.
Well, at least.
And Oris is still
Oh my
in the
God.
aggressive attack. Oh no!
Well, at least...
Oris's highest die is a 3 on this
Oh,
roll.
shit.
This roll of 6, keep 6. But I'm just trying to break down some of the mechanics for everybody here. Oris has Blood of the Andals. Whenever he makes a fighting roll, he gets to re-roll 1 die. The re-roll came up a 5.
Okay.
Oris is also a bastard. So I'm going to say that counts for another bonus die, which was something that we just did for Joffrey. So another bonus die. All right, that comes up a 4. So now Oris is going to keep 6 dice, still dropping some utter shit here, still keeping some utter shit, but it's a pretty salvageable roll because of ironically, the royal boon from last game now being used against Robert Baratheon. But that's going to end up being 12 plus 18. It's a 2 degree of success hit. Robert Baratheon takes an injury.
Whoa.
Because Oris's base damage is really fucking high.
Well, there's one
so-
of the 5 more we need to do.
As an aside, because somebody mentioned the possibility of disarm, the problem with disarm is that the difficulty of it is based on your opponent's fighting score. Robert Baratheon's is tied for highest in the game. That's the problem with disarm. It's one of the mechanical quirks of this game. Yeah.
Who's he tied with? Is it Jamie?
Oh, sorry. He's tied for second highest in the game. He's tied with Barristan Selmy.
Who's
Barristan
highest
Selmy,
then?
Jamie.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Barristan Selmy used to have a 7, but Barristan Selmy is old enough that it has dropped. But he has the Blood of Heroes advantage that lets him have something higher. But my assumption is that the stats as written are meant to reflect that Barristan is a bit past his prime. But yeah, like he's tied really fucking high. So, in a thunderous flurry of blows, as the 2 biggest dudes on the field today are going at it with these great big fucking weapons, Robert Baratheon takes the brunt of your assaults and is kind of grunting with exertion from it. Oris swings high, and the blunted blade glances off Robert's helmet. Sparks fly, and a gilded antler goes flying through the air up into the crowd. Robert, and that's kind of Oris's action. Robert's action is this lesser action standard attack, nothing fancy, casual swing, and it's this sidelong swing that you 2 are able to avoid, but it's like this everybody stay back type of swing that you 2 are able to get back, and Oris takes it on the shield, and it smashes Oris's shield to flinders in one swing, and just like staggers Oris because he takes it then on the shield arm and on the body, and Oris spins with the momentum of that attack, and his blade swings up at head level, which the only 2 of them are at that head level, and Robert stumbles backwards with his helmet knocked off. And you hear distant voices from far away on the royal dais as the round continues. We're not going to give the courtiers their opportunity this round. We're cutting right to Reyna as the camera does that trick of everyone's ears ringing and things sounding a little far away. Reyna, you're up.
Dear God.
The king
Yeah.
has taken an injury. What is Reyna doing?
I'm going to attack,
Okay.
but I would like to look past him briefly for an instant to the nearest Kingsguard behind him. Are they? Is that Kingsguard now closer than they used to be?
The Kingsguard are all staying at their positions. You've got a pretty high awareness. And we're just going to say, because you guys are kind of circling Robert, we're just going to go to the iconic Kingsguard. You see that Barristan Selmy is taking one step forward, kind of hesitantly.
Shit. Okay. I will.
So aim and attack,
Aim and attack.
aggressive attack, defensive attack.
Be aggressive. Be
Yeah, it's
aggressive.
gotta be aggressive. It's gotta be.
All right, an all-out attack on the king after he's lost a piece of armor and taken an injury. Interesting. I was going to say interesting no matter what you did. Don't let me throw you off your game.
Horse.
So that is +1 rolled and kept die.
No, this is not gonna happen.
He is no longer on full defense
For the
because his action has come and gone.
16.
Okay. That's 3 degrees of success.
Okay.
So 12 points. So 3 points gets through to him. Okay, Bela, you are up.
I will also do a all-out attack
Okay,
from another angle.
right. Valyrian Sunfire. The Valyrian spear twirling through the air. I don't know if it's a really good or a really bad roll. I can't tell from that gesture.
It's mediocrity.
That's worse.
I have 13 on 5 kept dice.
Yeah, that is not super. That is going to be 2 degrees of success, though. Or sorry, double damage. So it's
Yeah.
kind of 1 full degree. And you're at a 6, correct? Okay, so 12. So 3 more points will get through.
Guess we don't have his full attention yet.
That's another injury, actually.
Oh.
Oh, son of a bitch.
At least he doesn't like have Berserker, because otherwise I'd be out.
Right?
Oris is up. Second. Oh no, Oris. Baby boy, what you doing? It's 3 ones. All right, there we go.
At
That's
least
a
you can
better.
re-roll one of those.
Yeah, the
Baby
blood of the
boy.
blood of the Andals is helpful for that. So that will make it a 16, 2. That's 2 more injuries. Robert is up. He has, he doesn't have Berserker, which is kind of interesting. Just to mention something in chat, he does have something called Furious instead, where he can keep a couple less dice, and he can increase the base damage of an attack by +4. That's a lot. Like that adds up if you're keeping a ton of dice. Like he doesn't need that. Like that's the thing. It's pretty gross. But we're just gonna have him do a normal attack, and this is
Hey, we
using
got
the next.
a stream boss got defeated again.
Oh, somebody just beat the stream boss. I would call out a destiny point pretty quick, stream boss beater, because it could
Give
matter.
it to the king.
Because I'm going by the next number that we got in chat, which was a 1. This is an attack coming at Reyna from Robert Baratheon, first of his name, King of the Andals, the Rhoynar, and the First Men, defender of the kingdom and protector.
He's gonna hit me so
The
fucking
realm.
hard.
Arr.
I'm gonna shatter.
So that's a 31.
Fucking A.
Fuck.
Yeah, he was
There you
keeping
go,
some
Reyna.
pretty good dice. All right, so Reyna's got a destiny point for this. You can spend a fatigue to ignore your armor penalty, which will increase your combat defense. You've just got a destiny point, which would make him drop a 5.
That's
So
probably
that's
worth.
pretty
All right,
big.
let's
Yeah.
do it. I'll spend a fatigue.
Okay, so what's that get your combat defense up to?
Well, my combat defense was affected by the fact that I went all out, wasn't it?
Mm.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Like -3 or something.
-5.
Minus
Minus
5.
five, fuck.
Which
That's
put
even
me
worse.
at 5.
Shit.
Plus
Well, like you probably.
Okay, so you were at a 4. What's your armor penalty? Okay, so that kind of bumps it up to an 8. Okay, so we've got 31 versus 8. You made him drop a 5 with a destiny point. Makes it a 26 against an 8. So at 8 goes to 13, goes to 18, goes to 23. It's 40 good sets. That's going to be 40 points of damage.
Fuck me.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Okay. All I can do at this point is take injuries and fly
Right.
through the air like a small ragdoll.
Yeah, so an injury mitigates incoming damage by an amount equal to your endurance. That's the other tremendous benefit of being endurance 6. It's A, you can take more injuries,
Yeah.
but B, each injury you take is absorbing 6 points instead of like 3.
Yeah. It's
So-
Right.
exponential.
It's -3.
Yeah, so I think that 30 points or whatever it was is gonna do it. So that's Robert's action at functionally initiative 0. Because remember,
Wait,
he's
it was
been
30 something. My armor rating is a 9.
it's 21.
21
Sounds like.
minus 9.
Would make it 11. What's
Okay,
your
I
health
am
score?
unconscious.
It's just a tourney, so you're not.
I could be. fine.
Um,
I think I should be. He just sent me flying.
I mean, it's your call. Like it's and actually, do you have?
You can just have your bell rung pretty hard. You know, you don't
Yeah.
have to literally be conscious.
Because it is still a tourney, and he is still pulling his blow.
Jesus.
I mean, it's,
Well, flavor.
Yeah.
Right?
um,
As much as anyone is. Well, my
So-
shield goes flying.
Oh,
and
yeah.
starts to splinter.
yeah, you know, your shield, shield's totally broken, because he has a high enough shattering score, and he hit you with more than 2 degrees of success, so shattering triggers. So yeah, your shield gets busted. Your arm is pretty bashed up, absorbing the brunt. You get knocked several feet, kind of sidelong away. You are half conscious at best, but I just don't want you to be knocked out cold and unable to roleplay, because he did actually only KO you by a couple health points.
Okay.
Like 2 more health points, and you would be up and nominally able to keep fighting. You know,
Correct.
but that's the end of the round.
Can I
So-
just check? Like, is the destiny point as well? Yeah.
I used it.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
yeah, and that took away a degree of success and lowered the damage by 10. So like
So
that's good math.
close.
Yeah. Um, so
Oh,
that ends that kind of dramatic round when cinematically, like the sound was all far away and everyone's ears are ringing. Um, and the sound kind of snaps back on with that impact. Like it does that cool cinematic thing of like the sound's all faded away and tinny, and then it goes, bam! And just as the hammer hits her, like that comes in full sound, and you hear the shield splintering, and you hear people yelling, and you hear John Aaron shouting, "That's enough! End the melee!" And you hear Joffrey yelling, "Kill them! Kill them!" And you hear King Robert saying, Don't you bloody stop this fucking fight, John!" Uh, and you hear Barristan Selmy, his voice raises just enough, and he just barks out, "Enough!" And you glance over to the side, and you see that Eris Oakhart of the Kingsguard has his blade locked with Oris's sword. In like clashed, Oris parried, and they're starting to shove back and forth. Marin Trant is approaching Oris, sword out.
fuck no.
Jaime Lannister has kind of lifted his blade and is glancing towards the royal box where his sister sits and the crown prince. And you hear Marcella's voice go, "Oh no, Papa!" And that is when everybody kind of stops fighting.
Yeah.
Like between the assortment of various yells, Barristan Selmy's lifted enough, and the young girl whose tournament it is for her name day saying, "Papa," that's kind of enough for everyone to kind of snap out of it. You guys get to react first because you're nominally up next in initiative. So, Reyna, what are you doing now that it feels like stopping is the answer?
Fight everybody.
The king is yelling for everyone to continue, but the hand is yelling for them to stop, and the King's Guard seem to be getting it, well, are involved.
Are involved.
Yep, they're advancing.
I shove off my helmet, and to show, and I just we yield.
Yeah, taking a knee would be appropriate as both a way to address the king and to show that you are kind of like in football taking a knee, like
I'm not
ending.
even on the. I haven't even gotten up. I'm still
Like
on the ground.
she hasn't landed yet. No, like you're yeah. So you can rise to like a knee and turn it into a courtly thing.
One hand
Okay.
up,
Bela.
I will flourish and with the pointy end of Sunfire into the grounds, and I'll be standing there, just kind of like ready, but like clear that I'm not, going to be fighting.
Do you take a knee?
Yeah. I'll take a knee, sure, and I'll say, "Oris, take a knee."
Oris will make a willpower roll. Because I feel like Berserker shouldn't only be a benefit, and he has been attacked.
Right.
Yes, Ash?
Just as you're saying, like, we get to react first, does that include me or Luke?
You guys can holler some stuff.
Yeah.
I had nothing to add.
Yeah, well, like, if it looked like Oris is not going to at least pause until John Aaron and the king, like, sort out what's happening, Adam will shout to, like, try and get Oris to back off. He's not going to be telling them to yield, but
okay.
Like, yeah.
Just you're pausing for a second to see what Oris does. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I guess, but like,
just
I don't want him to be stabbed by Kingsguard. So.
Yeah, that's an understandable concern.
He's holding an action as an interrupt.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So Bela did yell for Oris to yield, and Oris has one die in dedication, so he's trying to get self-control back by doing what a knight and lady has told him. And that's good because one of his dice was a 1, but it's a bonus die because of the dedication. He gets to drop it. So he ended up with a solid 15, not even counting any advantages that might modify willpower rolls. I was making him roll for about a 9, specifically because of the fluff of the Berserker trait. It just feels like sometimes it should be a downside. So he does shove off of Eris Oakheart's blade, but only to kind of push himself backwards, and take a knee with his sword in his hand, like he could get back up if he needs to. You see Marin Trant advancing on Oris, blade high, like he's like, "Fuck yes, I get to kill a squire," and he's got that great sword up and out and is ready to swing. And you hear Robert go,
Oh,
"Damn the lot of ya! It was an honest fight. Trant, you hold your fucking steel. I'm fine. Ah, damn it, Aaron. You've ruined the fucking fun." And he throws his hammer down, just like in disgust. Like, "We had a good fight going. 7 take the lot of ya. 7 hells ruin the fucking melee.
yeah,
First time I felt alive in fucking years, and a lot of you had to go wrecking things. Fuck!" And he kicks,
you were still in the
kicks,
fight. You didn't have to yield.
he kicks a helmet, and it goes flying into the stands, and he goes,
Your Grace. Your Grace. I'm like, I stand up, like mustering every bit of everything not to be crumpled on the ground because I think my ribs are broken.
he goes, "Down, fucking stand up, you 3. Damn it." And he's just grumbling. It doesn't seem like he's mad at you guys. He's mad at the situation. But the Kingsguard are retreating back to their kind of stony, almost statuesque silence as they retreat to the edges of the field. And Robert's gesturing like exasperatedly at you to get up. But it looks like he's looking at Reyna now that your grace was enough to get his.
Get up, and I approach him.
God damn it. We could... More wine and we could start over.
Oh, Your Grace, I beg of you. We have a lifetime of tournaments ahead of us. I
Fine.
think today, we have reached our limits.
You have cost me
And the
100 dragons.
It's not your fault that Selmy and John Aaron are a couple of old women doting over me like I'm a babe still sucking a teat. Fine then. And he lifts his voice in a kind of kingly thing. It strikes a bit of a pose, chest out, shoulders back, and he turns to the whole lot of the kingdom and kind of raises his arms. And then he turns and he's making eye contact with John Aaron as he says it. "We'll call it a draw and say the win goes to the team that had more folks standing."
And I bow my head.
I feel better about this now.
He goes, "They didn't fucking beat me, but I wasn't done beating them. So we'll say that they get the melee prize, but let none say that I fell, and none say that I was done pounding them into the dirt. But they still get the purse, John Aaron, and you'll not make me take it back from them."
Aww. You are most gracious. As
Well, that's why they
host
call him Your Grace.
and king.
So then he stoops and he picks up the hammer. He goes, "Fine then. Hear it for your fucking king and these Dornish women. Eh? Come on, you sodded lot." And everybody starts to roar and cheer.
Yeah.
Um, but Robert just kind of stalks off of the field, you know, in growly bear tantrum mode because his fight got interrupted and fucking ruined and oh damn them. But he just makes his way out through the stands.
As much as I didn't want my beloved siblings and Oris to get smashed to pieces, yeah, I'm also like
Right.
So
I'm
you
gonna head down to the
guys,
field.
yeah, and at this point, like once he leaves, the field's kind of clear. The Kingsguard rush off with him, and you see Barristan Selmy talking quietly to Marin Trant, like already giving him a bit of a dressing down. But yeah, you guys are free to kind of go back onto the field. Alysanne Mormont gives a whoop. She's like, the ladies hurt the king. Let us show these southern lots. And she's like whooping and hollering. And she rushes towards you lot. And she's hauling Bela up and trying to get her on her shoulders.
wow.
Okay.
And
yeah,
with
I'm not
some
going to
help-
resist.
with some help from Nathan Lugas, the two of them get Bela up to strike a pose for the crowds. Garland Tyrell gestures with a smile. He has people to do that for him. And an assortment of joyous knights heft up Reyna and are able to lift her battered form up to wave to the crowd. Oris scowls and waves people off. Luke and Adam, you guys are getting pawed at by some knights. Are you going to let them lift you in the air?
I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Let them do it.
You're a Nymerian.
Oh,
People seem really carried away.
Lift me.
Look, I'll stand up. I don't want to be lifted. Don't lift me.
You see a
It's
handful.
infantilizing and embarrassing.
You see a gleaming handful of coins, copper and silver, arcing through the air as Illyrio Mopatis is cheering and flinging money to the small folk. House Nymerian! Ah, huzzah! Oh, these tourneys, such fun! What a twist! Who pictured it? Yes. And coin goes flying into the crowds. And
I did. I mean, Magister, I did say it might be fine. So.
So you guys eked out a pretty legit draw. The rule that I had worked up for myself in my head was if he takes more than half his injuries, they're not going to let him finish. And you guys managed to lay injuries on him quickly enough that he didn't drop most of you yet. Like next actions were probably going to do it because he's basically a one shot against.
Yeah.
And Oris was bad enough; it was good. But you guys, like, between destiny point manipulation, fatigue manipulation, and ironically the royal boon, which was an extra fucking kept die there for Oris, which was enough to edge things up for you guys. That all worked out about as good as you guys could have hoped. So that was not how I expected it to go, but with resource management, including the assistance of chat. So you guys definitely helped out with that. And with the earlier attack roll being against Oris, that's basically the only one that wouldn't be a one-shot. So that initial pick from chat for the first attack, you guys got lucky. It was a 1 in 3 chance of it being another. So that was fucking sweet, and that was fucking legit. And we're gonna definitely cut that scene with you lot just kind of being roodied around the field as the assembled knights, warriors, and men-at-arms are just hollering at you, and the small folk are losing their shit. Bessa of Flea Bottom is flinging biscuits and rolls into the crowd with joyous abandon. It's just like, oh, look at my boy. Look what he done. Hit the king. His head for
Yes, he
it.
did
And,
amazingly.
like, yeah. So
He's
everybody's
the king and isn't dead.
so everybody's kind of losing their stuff.
Now, you all need
So,
to
yeah.
go to the master's tent pretty sharpish.
Fine. I'm
Or
fine.
to party.
Ow. Fine. Just some wine. That's all.
Wine, yes.
Right, and then promise me you'll go to the master's tent, because, damn.
Yeah, the Maester's tent. Someday I'll be at the
I
Maester's
definitely
tent.
promise
In the
that that's
future.
it.
I will make sure to visit there at some point.
Do not.
Instead of just following you guys through your revel and henpecking, like, demand they put you down immediately.
You can.
Just let them, they have their moment. It's fine.
Yeah,
They earned it.
I know. I don't want to impinge upon the moment, but you can drink wine in the master's tent if you want to.
Oh, they
Okay.
front on that.
How about I drink enough that I wind up waking up in the Maester's tent?
You know what? That results in you.
That gets a
results in-
hand clasp for me.
That means you'll get
So-
there eventually.
One hand clasp, the other one on the wineskin.
So I think we are definitely at a point where we can wrap that scene, and the next big scene would be the night's revelries. But here's the thing, I kind of don't want to start that and then have to weirdly interrupt it in like 25 minutes when
That's
the
fair.
episode should end. So I think maybe we might actually wrap this episode early, and then just pick up at the green tree next episode, because we have gone over a few times and we don't want to like let every episode go over because it's awesome. But the green tree scenes should be pretty awesome. So I don't want us to like get dug in there and then go over. So I think we're actually gonna just let you guys get carried by the crowd and or the good cheer and rivers of wine, and we're gonna start next session with you guys still celebrating like 4 hours later at the green tree, with your little bevy of folks, and a few more people are gonna come by. You'll notice like the Tyrells don't go to the green tree, but some other NPCs that you've gotten to know and friends that you will make will be coming by. The prize money, to answer a question in chat, since we're gonna kind of cut and go out of character, what had initially been promised got inflated in like episode 2 by a royal boon. 1 second as I make my way through the sheet, because it's a pretty hefty Word doc that are all of my notes for the tourney. Give me a second. But it got inflated to the point where, for the melee, in keeping with the theme of the sacred number 7, it was 77 gold dragons each for the winners of the melee. So that's going to include Nate and Lugas. That's going to include the Will of Will. That's going to include Servan and Rivers. So 77 gold dragons each. That was before the inflation that came from the more current picking of House Baratheon for the Royal Boon last session. So I'm still deciding how much those will get kind of rounded up. Most of them, it's probably going to get tossing in a master crafted something for inflating the prizes. But you're talking at least 77 gold dragons each, which is pretty exorbitant in Song of Ice and Fire money.
It's a lot.
So yeah, we're looking at a pretty hefty chunk of change there that each of you just won. So yeah, that was pretty good stuff. So you've got that prize money a coming. The wine at the green tree will certainly be flowing. Nate and Lugas is probably going to pick up the tab for fucking everybody because he just won 77 gold dragons. But yeah, so we will work up an exact list of NPCs. My plan was to kind of make our way to the feast, like wrap up this session with the last of the joust and stuff. But there's no way we're gonna rob you guys of a night of fucking revelry since you won the melee. So instead, I think in 2 weeks we're gonna be looking at another full session of socially stuff, where I'm going to work up a guest list of just who decides to land at the Green Tree based on who you interacted with at the melee and other NPCs that you've interacted with. And then we're probably going to do a full fucking social scene for the whole next episode. I'm probably going to work up another NPC list and let chat kind of pull from the guest list and that sort of thing. So I think we've been enjoying those episodes. And because you guys just won the goddamn melee, it feels like we're not just going to gloss over the revelry tonight. Like, I had initially kind of half-assedly planned, like, so yeah, you guys do some drinking at the Green Tree. But, like, no. Like, you guys won. So I think it's going to be a little bit more invested night of revelry at the Green Tree. And, you know, Luke has had plans to get Adam and Oris laid, and we've been planning to do that this night after things. So we're going to toss that in during the night's revelry at the Green Tree. So, like,
that should prove not awkward at all.
Yeah.
No,
So I think-
definitely not awkward at all.
So I think when everybody
It's gonna be
comes back
awkward as
in
fuck.
2 weeks, we're going to have one of those episodes, y'all. We're going to make up for a couple episodes of doing dice with basic addition and division and the slog of getting through armor and health points and stuff. And we're going to have one of those. We're going to have an episode full of drink and revelry and good cheer right
Those are my
across the street from a whorehouse. We're going to have everybody with 77 gold dragons to burn through by way of celebration. We're going to have a whole bunch of knights and lords slumming it with you guys in the Green Tree. So, yeah.
Adam's going to get
Instead of-
sloppy.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say we have made our debut.
We have. We have.
So, yeah,
We
that
have
was...
arrived.
We have.
That was not how I thought the melee was going to go, but it was a legitimate way that it could go. So yeah, that was fun. Also, that is going to change some temperaments and dispositions towards you behind the scenes. That's definitely a
Yeah,
kind of
I wanna-
noticeable thing. So yeah.
I want to find out what that 21 awareness roll Cersei
Oh,
was.
It was just the queen listening
So she's
in.
just like,
People were back talking her boy, and that's
Hey, she likes light-haired individuals. I got light hair. That's probably all that was.
So while we've got about 20 minutes to burn, we could do an impromptu little bit of an Ask Me Anything if chat wants to. If you guys got
Oh.
any burning questions popping up, if any of us here on the show want to hang out a little bit longer, we'll stick
Yeah,
around
cool.
until 6 if you guys want. You know, and if people on this show
have a
want to
question.
leave. So yeah, but we'll start with Ash. Ash, ask me anything.
Yeah.
But chat, work up some questions if you want.
Yeah, I did have a question. Like, can Adam lay hands on that antler that flew into the crowd? Or if it's a thing he will have to go and quest for, that's okay. But on the off chance, if he found it, I mean, like, or if he found it, he would still probably ask the king if he would mind if he kept it.
Let's
'Cause- as a courtesy. If not, you know, he'd
Well-
probably bribe the person who did find it.
The antler went flying into the crowd, and so did the other half of that helmet. Because remember, Robert Baratheon punted it into the field. So there's kind of both halves of it are fair game. That said, just from a lore note, there is absolutely a historical precedent of that sort of thing being kept as a fair prize, and it was set by Robert Baratheon's grandfather, no less, the Laughing Storm, Sir Lionel Baratheon, who used to pointedly do
course.
that in called shots.
So
So
sorry, Rusty, I got booted out of the app
No
there,
problem.
so you could start over. But
it was
yeah,
like there's definitely a precedent of it being kept. So we'll say you don't even have to go to the king. He would just laugh and say to keep it. If anybody has a destiny point to spend, we will say that you guys are able to recover the horn and the helmet.
Wow.
So
I'll
because you
spend
can
a
use
destiny
them,
point
for that sort of narrative thing, and because you guys have made enough of a splash, and because there's definitely been a concerted effort, for instance, to spread good cheer on behalf of your house, handfuls of coin going out and some free food. So yeah, we're gonna say first off, though, let's just do this. Bela spends a destiny point to get half of it. Reyna spends a destiny point to get the other half. As our night of revelry kicks off, all of you are going to be getting your destiny points back because this was a smashing enough success for you guys that we're going to start next session with destiny points back. So you guys are able to do that. You'll have, through the course of the revelry, we will say sometime next session, the severed antler and the rest of the helm will make its way to you guys. And you don't know who's going to bring it to you, but that's something fun for me to figure out in the next 2 weeks. But I will say they will make their way to you next session. Does that work? So we'll do that. And now let's take a look in chat. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep up with both. If Robert got dropped, what would the remaining crew have done among one another? It would have just been a win for the team. There are some melees where you can insist that you fight to the winner. Because this melee had been laid out to be teams, it would be single. Robert, and this is getting kind of meta with it, but with King Robert having done a royal boon for extra prize, I might have decided King Robert decides to make them fight until there's one winner, because that winner will get double the prize, right? Like that could have been something that happened depending on how things went, because there's that nebulous, oh, somebody should get extra for the melee from the pick from last session. So it could have been all right, you guys have all won. Everybody take a breath. Get your health points back. You're still stuck with injuries, but everybody take a breath. Everyone's earned 77 gold dragons. Now we're going to roll initiative while the last 3 fight, and Adam makes a roll to give everybody a bonus die once around. To keep
pick one of us, Adam.
Yeah, Adam, pick one.
Yeah,
who's your favorite?
Going to be?
Yeah, Adam, who are you gonna pick? Like, I feel like
Horus.
that could have been fun,
Yeah.
right? So like, I might have done that.
I pick myself, and he stands up and fires a bow and arrow into the melee.
Yeah, just starts dropping fools with headshots. Yeah, but so like, I might have done something like that to be fun. That said, I would have also been typing in Discord to go, hey, are you guys cool with some PvP? Because I also want players to be like happy about stuff. And partially also because Horus, remember, was built as very much a combat character, because the players had to buy status and make well-rounded characters for role-playing. And Horus was built to be a tank for them, to help them get over the hump of complicated combat rules in this first arc in particular, because so many of the players were brand new to the system and stuff. So it's kind of shitty that Horus would have still been standing. So I may have cinematically had Robert and Horus take each other out, maybe, something like that. Or had Horus want to keep fighting and be hiding an actual, like, wound. And then somebody's like, wait a second, that bastard's got cracked ribs. He just coughed up a bunch of fucking blood. He's just trying to doggedly stay in the fight, So, like, I might have done something to pull Horus out, and then it would have just maybe been Reyna against Bela. And then they have to decide if they want to beat one another. Like, does Bela want to potentially take out the heir to the house? Does Reyna want to get some dice out there and take away the martial thing from, So we would have just seen what happened. But I would have definitely tried to touch base here in Discord to make sure players were on board. But yeah, what I'm trying to do with this game is make it a series of flowcharts, even with NPCs, instead of this is what happens. Like, I would have just kind of seen what the players wanted to do, seen exactly how Robert went out, and then kind of see what happened from there. So there's that to answer Baron Adamy's question. Qatar had a question with how far in the melee did I expect to survive. I would not have been surprised if they went out during either of today's waves prior to Robert showing up. Just it came down to a couple of lucky rolls, and honestly, this like cinematic initiative that we did, where they kept getting to go first, was a factor. But I just, initiative's clunky. I hate fucking rolling initiative.
Yeah, well, that was kind of a product from the very first time we rolled initiative in the melee, where most of us happened to roll really high, and so
Yes.
we had just beaten all the other combatants we were facing anyhow, so we just turned it cinematic.
Yeah, so I was just kind of letting it stick with that kind of momentum, but like we probably should have been rolling new initiative each time or whatever. Um, but yeah, like either of those groups, the trio of Reach Knights or the, um, kind of ironically, it's Dondarian and two Riverlanders, like either of those groups could have taken them out. They were coming in with like an injury apiece and a handful of health points. What I did for most of the NPCs was they've got uh, like D3 injuries and D6 health that they lost in the nebulous earlier in the melee.
Mhm.
So they were coming in, licking a few wounds themselves, but I was trying to keep it kind of fair fights each step of the way. Um, so yeah, like they could have definitely lost to either of those waves, and I would not have been surprised. And I would not have had Oris just keep on rampaging as an engine of destruction. Um, like the dark horse of the team, just outliving everybody and like one-upping PCs. I don't want that to happen. Um, but he was able to be the most shallow combat carry, so it might have, like, yeah, decent odds of just kind of taking this thing, just because lots of armor, lots of endurance, high base damage, all adds up. So yeah, like they could have definitely lost earlier, but yeah, this was definitely one way it could have gone, So yeah, it worked out. Pretty jazzed. Yeah, there was definitely some bad blood. Some of that came from how quickly people surrendered. Like if Lynn Corbray had like an action instead of Garland kind of holding an action to immediately yield, then like Lynn Corbray probably would have tried to cripple him, or something like that. Like legitimately, Lynn Corbray may have gone, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna use melee rules. I'm gonna attack, Sir Garland's sword arm and and try to get in a proper wound here." Like stuff like that could have happened, but um, yeah, it didn't really come up. So
The rest of you are all shaking your head.
stuff happens. Stuff happens. But yeah, hopefully everybody had a good time. I do continue to have some misgivings of just the crunch of this system, and partially it's just when it's a big fight like this. But I think part of the problem is that because it's a big fight without stakes of life or death, we have stakes of glory and gold. But like, especially when we all know that players aren't going to die, I worry that that maybe turns it into a little bit more boring slog of number crunching, because just so many of the fights that you guys have had, because it's all fucking tourney. So maybe when you guys are back in real battles, it might feel a little more dangerous again, and you'll feel a little more alive. But it's a concern that I have, is because there is an actual skin in the game. But we'll see how things go in the next several sessions, and if nothing else, the next arc, I promise, is not going to be a tourney. So there will be kind of live steel going again. MVP of the game, hey, that's up to chat, not players. That's a chat thing. I'm not.
Yeah, you tell us.
But yeah, hopefully everybody's been having a good time.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It is a lot of fun.
Although I'm looking forward to like next session being one of those, because it's always fun when we get like directly interacting with each other and stuff. So
Yeah, and I'm also trying to like with Luke kind of stepping in and doing the same thing that that Adam was. It's me trying to
That's
find ways
helpful.
to keep people involved without going, all right, well, we don't need Adam anymore. Luke's taking it. Like, like I'm trying to keep everybody active because that's another downside of combats and stuff is just like, oh, like you're knocked out. Fuck off. Like, sorry. In a recent variance game, they were like the sooner we press the plot on to go rescue this guy, the sooner Thomas gets to actually fucking roleplay tonight so that he's not like just getting on Discord for no reason. So like, like sometimes we try to push the plot to get players involved or to keep them involved. So I wanted to definitely kind of keep Luke in the game, but I think that worked out. It gave him something to do.
Yeah, that's fine.
But that's definitely one of the difficulties of a game that isn't like D&D, right? It's in a way, it's kind of like the Shadowrun Decker problem. We're like, all right, like, what do you do while he's hacking? Or what do you do when the mage goes on the astral? And, you want to keep everybody involved, but it still pops up in this game where it's like, part of the reason that the characters aren't min-maxed for combat was I was like, hey, everybody be able to do something in a fight. Everybody be able to do something socially. So it's one of the juggling acts is trying to keep everybody involved, but I think it worked
Luke
out.
Like to have several very personal fights, so I was perfectly fine.
Yeah, so I think it worked out, and we're keeping everybody in the action. But to me, that's definitely one of the biggest struggles in this game is, it's not the show Game of Thrones where the camera just goes, from, King's Landing to the wall. And, some episodes you hardly see anybody. We're like, no, like, I want to get everybody their Sunday afternoon's worth, keep everybody going. So we're definitely making an effort to work on that and keep everybody involved. But chat, you guys certainly seem to be liking everybody. It feels like the Destiny points are getting pretty evenly distributed through players. I haven't really been keeping formal track of it, but it feels like when our stream boss gets beat, you guys have been pretty even-handed with tossing out Destiny to an assortment of players. So that's been nice to see. And again, with a lot of the random numbers you're pulling out of your butts, chat, you've been making some major decisions behind the scenes here. A lot of my notes are numbered. So you guys have been definitely influencing stuff a lot as the kind of random factor where something ricochets and goes in a random direction. You never know what you're choosing when I suddenly have chat pick a number. So who was okay, as somebody just mentioned in chat, who was our stream boss? Josh, is that JLP0719? Is that somebody or is that a buddy?
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, Josh, let me know what house you want to get that royal boon so that some group gets a nebulous kind of plot boost in the next few weeks. But with that, I think that we're just about out of questions. So we'll just cut it a few minutes early. But this was a hell of a melee, y'all. You guys laid 4 injuries on King Robert, and that's pretty badass. So hopefully, chat, you guys had as much fun watching all this go down as we did doing it. And we'll see you all back here in 2 weeks' time. We got one last question for Qatar. All right.
Go fast.
Quick, like a bunny. But yeah, we'll see everybody back here in 2 weeks for hanging out at the Green Tree. And I think we'll just call that episode A Night at the Green Tree. Oh, this Razor staying as future wives, that's completely going to depend on the potential husband. And that's the sort of thing that the Queen of Thorns certainly keeps in mind when she's looking at some of these potential matches. Because it comes down to which, who's taken a point in the relationship. But I don't think either Bela or Reyna, she was lining up anybody that was going to try and throw their weight around and be like, ha, wench, I wear the pants in this one. From now on, dresses. I don't think that was ever going to happen.
Aw.
I don't think so either.
So it's definitely going to influence some of the suggestions, though. And just so you guys know, because I've told the players, but because I'm big on player choice, what I'm trying to do, chat, so you can stay part of the process, is work up about 3 good matches for each player and let them kind of choose from them there. So everybody has to do a marriage because it's a arranged marriage. It's expected, but I'm still trying to let players have some say in it. So hopefully that'll all fall into place pretty well without anybody being uncomfortable out of character, no matter how much we love making them uncomfortable in character.
Yeah, well, maybe Adam will go and ask the Blackfish how to avoid getting married.
Sure, yeah, just leave. Yeah, go work somewhere else for 20 years. Just run off to Essos or something, lad. You know, that would be
You
his.
could be the Black Dragon. It's fine.
Yeah, you could be the Black Wyvern working in the
That- that-
Vale, and
You do
Yeah.
know that sounds really cool.
it is a cool man. The Black whatever
Joffrey
is a
and
badass
Bela,
name.
that'd
yeah.
last about 4 seconds, and then Joffrey would be dead. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So anyway, we will see you all back here in 2 weeks' time. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. And we will have a night at the Green Tree in a couple weeks. Bye, folks, and happy Halloween!